Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Good to be with you. I hope you had a spectacular weekend. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. Would it be wrong of me to throw this this pistachio nut at the camera? I don't think I could harm it, could I?
Trying to be like Tony Reale and throw the paper at the end of the show?
No, more like Letterman, who's actually great, unlike Tony Reale. Letterman used to throw his pencil and stuff at it. Oh, I hit it. Did it work? It was badass if you're watching on TV there.
That'll be $1,000.
I actually hit the lens. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming, free, always. If you miss anything, go back, get caught up. Find us on YouTube. Find us on iTunes. Find us on the website archived audio, ESPNTallahassee.com. Find us on Periscope at 979 ESPN Radio. Yeah, lots of ways. The WTSM app included in that. It's free. Email if you want, jcs at 979ESPNradio.com. And is that everything? I think it's everything. I think I did everything right. Florida State with a big road win there. That's a season sweep, as I noted last night. A season sweep for that ass. Get you some, Miami.
They look like they were okay with it, didn't they? Miami really didn't put up much of a fight there.
They were toothless, Tom. It wasn't that they were okay with it. They just didn't match up against men. And what can you do? All you can do is hope to recruit better. But they are woefully behind as a program and as a university. So that's what's going to happen. Their fans have to withstand these beatings on a weekly basis against real teams in the ACC.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 wins in the ACC if you're lucky.
Oh, maybe. Just maybe. But in the interim, they got to wear that, and they did last night. And you know what? Dare I say we're starting to round into form from a shooting standpoint? Look, it's weird to look at this team because on the one hand, I feel really excited about, hey, we're fighting and clawing our way back to 500 in the ACC. You should win your next game at home against Georgia Tech this Saturday at noon. You ought to win that game. I know Georgia Tech is scrappy, but you don't just roll into the TLC Double C and expect to walk away with a victory, especially not when you're 11-9. So they're going to come in here and lose, and Florida State will be back to 500 in the ACC. They will have won 3 straight games in the ACC. And, we'll go to 16-5 overall. We'll crack back into that top 25. Not that I need to do that. It's just nice for the optics. But on the other hand, while all that is going to happen, and I feel very good about it, and once again, the finger on the pulse, Tom, I'm telling you, we're going to beat Georgia Tech soundly. But here's your problem. There's a ceiling now because of these injuries, and there's only so much you can really project and feel good about as far as potential and deep runs into a tournament or anything like that. It's a little iffy because clearly Trent Forrest needs surgery. Admitted it last night to Corey Lewis or Corey Alexander. Was Corey Alexander, is that who does the games in the Colorado Animals? Yeah, so he admitted it. That came out that he can't get healthy until he has surgery in the offseason. Well, that's what I was told earlier, and I've been talking about that somewhat without 100% confirmation, but that this is a thing that rest and or surgery can make better, and we don't have time for either in season, and he's going to play through it. So what you're going to get from him is 60% of what he was a year ago. That stinks, man, because he was really emerging as a superstar, as an elite player in the ACC, and he can't really be that right now. He can be a good player for us, and I don't know what I'm going to get from him game to game. It's not his fault, but they're managing pain. It affects his explosiveness or lack thereof in stretches. Sometimes he looks like his old self. Sometimes he doesn't. So I never really know what I'm going to get. It was good to see Phil Kofer on the floor last night. But I don't know what we're getting out of him. That's a guy that is, again, having problems with his feet. Big men, problems with their feet. Never a good sign. Don't know what you're going to get out of him week to week. Can't trust that he's going to be out there for you even. So, again, that's hard to project. And then, MJ Walker becomes the star last night, but he had gone MIA prior to last night. That's the good news. He returned to form. Embarrassed some people. Looked like the guy we've seen glimpses of in the past. Welcome back, young man. Good to have you aboard. What a lift that was for this team last night. Savoy hit a long 3. Maybe he slowly but surely starts getting it going. This team from beyond the arc now combined last 2 games shooting over 50%. So We're starting to see them shoot better. Maybe confidence is growing now in those shots that weren't falling previous. But between Terrence Mann's heel, Trent Forrest's foot, obviously, or toe, I should say, and Phil Kofer's feet, you really are losing a great percentage of what you grew to expect to be consistent and relied upon. And so now I just have to hope that MJ Walker and maybe, obviously, the continued rising star of Kabengele is enough to offset that lack of consistency from the trio to where you can make the NCAA tournament. At this point, it's really about trying to fight to get to 500 in the ACC, find a way to finish 9-9, and you're in. Continue to keep the forward momentum going, and avoid being profoundly disappointed by the fact that, hey, look, if all three of those guys were right, I'd start really thinking long and hard about the possibility they could, again, tournaments are weird, matchups and all that, could go back to the Sweet 16, maybe even the Elite 8. Now I'm just trying to get there. Just get back to the tournament.
We're a tough team to beat when we're making our shots. I think every team in America could say that, but it's true for us because it can come from all angles. We have a number of players who are capable of hitting perimeter shots. They just haven't been, and they all have not been. But when you start a game last night where interior-wise, Koumadje hits his first 4, and then Savoy gives you a couple of threes, and you're looking at the scoreboard, they're the only 2 that have scored for you, but you hold a decent lead over Miami
14 points, right?
On the road.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, now we're doing some things. Now you feel like you've stolen a lead and a run to start the game. That's usually something you see in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
But now let's get into our offense and let's play with the guys that we expect to give us our production. And I thought, oddly enough, last night, so Leonard goes and makes one of his line changes, and he takes Koumadje and Savoy off the floor. I'm like, no, wait. They're so rarely this hot.
Keep stealing the minutes.
Yeah,
Keep stealing the minutes.
Rarely feeling this good these days that maybe we should ride this for another 2 or 3 minutes and see what we could get out of them. And the game gets a little bit closer in the first half, but it all ends up being okay because it's just very predictable. Sometimes guys can play above their abilities, like Boston College, right? I mean, they've got one good guy, and then the freshman goes, crazy too. But then sometimes it is exactly as it appears with Miami's depth, for example. They don't have anybody.
No, they don't have anybody. Yeah.
So you wear them out, and that's going to be that. And last night they weren't nearly as disciplined as they were when they came up here to play a game on a Wednesday night in terms of what they wanted to do and taking the shot clock down, giving great effort in the half court
the
defensively.
Game, all that. Yeah, no, that
was got in foul trouble again. I mean, you stack all these things up, and then we're also making threes. And MJ Walker is nearly perfect from beyond the arc last night with one of the better crossovers I've ever seen from a Florida State basketball
that
player.
Poor young man.
I mean, you got to make the shot for it to really count, and he did.
MJ, that young man has a family.
Right.
He has a family. They might have even been in attendance last night to do that to him.
This was a big win. Obviously, you get a lot of time off this week with your bye until Saturday at noon when we play Georgia Tech. But another positive development for Florida State also in the rankings is you see that these opponents from the non-conference slate, they're all creeping up into the top 25.
Yeah, save for Florida, who continues to really hurt our strength of schedule because they suck. But, yeah, save for Florida.
Other than that,
yeah.
Purdue almost blew a huge lead against Michigan State, but they didn't.
But they didn't.
Nova's won a bunch recently. LSU's won a bunch recently.
That's right. Yeah,
so you're right. If you can just get to 500, that's 21 regular season wins with this resume in terms of the non-conference slate. All right, we are in and we're comfortably in, but you got to get to that 9.
Man, I did enjoy watching Chris Lykes hoist dumb shot after dumb shot after dumb shot. Thanks for the 0 for 12 and 0 for 7 from beyond the arc, young man. I appreciate the point. Thanks for the 1 point.
Thanks for the point.
Thanks for the point. It was a gimme on a free throw. Man, I mean, I know it's cruel and unusual, and these are amateurs, but I couldn't help but think at some point I was wondering if our players were beginning to tell Chris, you suck. You're just an embarrassment. 0 for 12, I would have said it.
Well, think about this from a positive perspective. After you piled on, I can't pile on further. You're like, that's dead and buried. That if you combine Forrest and Nichols, who had a great game against Miami the first time around, and they had just 6 points between the two of them, and that's because Nichols didn't take a shot from the field.
Yes.
And that you still also are touching near 80 points. That means somebody you didn't expect is stepping up, and that's where MJ Walker comes in and is the star of the night. But, I mean, it can't go overlooked. what Kumaje and Savoy did to pace you and to take away that feeling, right? I mean, there was 7,000 in attendance. You wouldn't know it from the way we were leading last night.
They were awfully quiet. You had one old man that was on the near the Miami bench that was full of himself on a made three in the second half that moved Miami to within 12 briefly. He was feeling it. He had his hands up. He was letting the crowd know it was time. It was time to rise up. We got to send Florida State home. This aggression will not stand. And we came right back down the court, and Terrence Mann hits a three from the parking lot of all people. And that guy, I was like, put the camera back on him. Put it back on him. And they didn't. I was looking for him. I'm like, where you at, old man?
At least also a huge accomplishment for Florida State is we play every game on ESPNU, and it's like the same play-by-play guy who's not good. And at least this time they gave us Leonard Hamilton cam. Like the coach's cam. Now, he doesn't do anything, so it's not great TV.
I love that about Leonard.
But I like that ESPN was
stoic and strong.
Was finally willing to do that for us because we had to sit through Hurley earlier in the season.
Pass it around.
And then your boy up there at Pitt. It was Coach Capel. Capel.
Yeah, Capel.
So at least they're capable of doing it for us, and I think that's a major accomplishment, and it should be noted.
Kudos. A little tough love Cameron came through for MJ Walker. I'm not trying to take credit, but you guys pointed it out, and MJ responded well. I never know. When I go tough love on you, I never know how you're going to respond. And a lot of times it is a last-ditch effort. I'm close to washing my hands of you. I don't want to wash my hands of you. I don't want to get to that point where I have to turn my back on you. I don't want to be there because you're a no, I'm a no, and we're hoping to make this thing work. But at some point, I got to tell you what's really going on in my heart, what's going on in my head, and how I really feel about you. But the last line of defense before that happens is when I drop the tough love on you. And I'm only dropping tough love on you because I love you. But I will turn my back if you don't rise up at some point. I try to cajole. I try to put my arm around guys. I'll say, hey, buddy, I understand it's just not that easy. We're at a particularly high level here in the ACC, and a lot of expectations to be worn on those shoulders. It can be overwhelming. I got you. And then we watch the next game's performance. Doesn't work out. Not performing well. All right, well, that was the gentle approach. Now I'm going to get in his face and challenge his manhood. Now I'm going to ask him, what kind of man are you to allow this young man to do that to you in front of your friends and family and to your teammates? What kind of man are you when a kid's talking smack in your face and hitting threes, drawers as he jogs back down, laughing at you? Where's the fight? Where's the toughness? Now, that's not tough love, Cameron. That's just me being a classic buffoon. That's what men do. We, at some point, resort to what we know best, which is to call out your masculinity. It's a small-minded attempt to make a change. But sometimes it works. You just never know which button, Tom. You don't know.
Many buttons.
There are buttons all over. And finally, the last one is tough love. I'm done with you.
But it's love just the same.
It is. And in this case, it brought out the monster. And now I know that's in there, MJ.
You know what the opposite of love is?
Hate.
Indifference.
No. Apathy.
We're not indifferent about MJ Walker, are
We're
we?
not indifferent. We are not. I care deeply. So much so that I brought out the tough love, and the tough love brought out the best in MJ Walker. Good on you, MJ.
Sorry, boys, I didn't.
This. I thought I could handle it. We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Florida license number CAC 057652.
There ain't no heating and air conditioning.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for our all-new Ultimate Cheesy Garlic Bread. How would you like it?
I'll take the Ultimate Bromance.
Extra broy?
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, this ultimate spicy Italian made with ultimate cheesy garlic bread?
I know, bro.
So much melted mozzarella.
And this garlic butter spread, I can't take it, bro.
You know what this calls for.
Bro hug?
It's like we share the same brain, bro.
Bring it in.
Subway, make it what you want. Limited time only at participating restaurants.
With a Bloomberg Business of Sports report, I'm Michael Barr. Nike will be the next jersey supplier for Major League Baseball. It was a licensing deal that was originally awarded to rival Under Armour in 2016. Under the 10-year agreement, which starts in 2020, Nike will design the apparel that players wear on the field, including jerseys, base layers, and warm-ups. Sports merchandise supplier Fanatics will manufacture and distribute all of Nike's MLB products sold at retail. MLB in December of 2016 announced a 10-year deal with Under Armour and Fanatics, making Under Armour the official on-field supplier starting in 2020, but Under Armour later backed out of the deal. The $1 billion NFL concussion settlement, already hobbled by a wave of litigation over brain injury payouts, got more complicated as lawyers for retired players and third-party lenders sparred over the limits of a district court's authority to control the class settlement. And that is a Bloomberg Business of Sports report. I'm Michael Barr.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Man Cave Monday, brought to you by Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Right on the corner and always right on the price. Check out the latest 2019 inventory at TallahasseeDCJ.com today.
Cruel in my assessment of our season sweep over Miami.
Just the likes part, you know. It's not cruel. It was just, it was you. It was pointed, and it was...
I was going to say, I sometimes cross a line that I'm unaware of until later on when you go, it that might have been a little personal. It might have been a little cruel. And then other times you're like, nope, that was good. That's yes.
You enjoyed that one. I can tell the ones that you don't really enjoy, but it's just the fan in you talking. But for some reason, I think it's just because Likes is little. You like to pick on little guys.
It's not just that. He was 0 for 12, and he kept shooting. So he could have been 6'8", I would have ripped him. At some point, my man, let somebody else take a shot. You don't have it today. And it was making me laugh that he continued to do it. 0 for 7 from 3 as well. We going to keep jacking these up? Is that what we're doing here?
But I think when a guy is smaller and he makes the mistakes, you're quick to point that out always. Like with Johnny Manziel, it's like the first thing you bring up, not the fact that he is like loopy and crazy and
I'm not going to make fun
committed to being a good teammate.
I was going to say, I'll make fun of commitment. I'm not going to make fun of mental health. He had mental health issues, so I knew enough to stay away from that.
Well, not the depression part before that, when he was, just known as a partier, not a depressed person.
Right, yeah. Well, he just wasn't very good. I mean, I was making fun of him. Yeah. It's complicated. It's complicated. There are a lot of things that factor in me piling on somebody. I'm sure his height had something to do with it, maybe, but there were a lot of other things involved in that too. If they overhype you and you're lacking attributes that are ordinarily fairly important within the game, and they talk about you as if that doesn't matter. Oh, it just doesn't matter. I mean, he's overcome. I'm like, okay. Are we just going to pretend it doesn't matter that you're going to be playing in a League of Giants? Okay. You better be preternatural. You better do something that reveals to me that you truly can overcome that deficiency.
Yeah, you better have Tyreek Hill speed.
Yeah, you got to do something that is extraordinary that would make me go, well, maybe he can. I mean, we've done this with Kyler Murray's a good example. Oklahoma's my other team. My man won the Heisman. He was spectacular to watch. But I'm not going to sit here and listen to analysts because it serves their purpose in the moment to fill 15 minutes of requirement for the on-air segment, to sit here and act like it's no big deal that he might be 5'8", if he's lucky. It is. He's going to have a problem overcoming the fact that he's 5'8". He would truly be unique if he's able to overcome that and become an elite NFL quarterback. I just hate when people ignore that. It's it'd be like betting on my 47-year-old slow ass trying to beat a track star in a race.
Correct.
Like, you can't ignore that. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to do that.
I don't think you would be able to work as a scout in the Tampa Bay Lightning organization, though, because we will find a small person and we will turn them into a freak.
Hockey's a different sport, man. That's okay. I get it. Football, it's going to be problematic. Now, if he were a running back, I mean, there are plenty of 5'8", 5'9", little bowling balls make you miss in space. They're really good. Yeah, that's a different deal.
Even 5'6" dudes, they hide behind the linemen and you don't know where the hell they are.
They're a role for the Darren Sproles of the world,
Chris Thompson's tiny,
I would look at them and say, no, he can play in the league. His quickness, his ability to make you miss in space, catch the ball out of the backfield, return kicks, makes him valuable to us. But if you're a quarterback and you're 5'8", I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause before I go prattling on about how great you were in college. It makes a difference.
I feel like there is a Bill Burr level bit in you about small people and athletes. I think that it's in there. I can almost hear it. It's just on the brink. It's like Bill Burr on fat people.
Yeah, but
you
don't
and small people as athletes.
But don't you think that is also born out of the tireless and endless efforts of Mel Kiper and others to go too far the other way?
Definitely. Yeah, I understand why.
I think it's more directed at those guys. You can do anything you want to if you just dream it crowd. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The passion in your voice. There are things that get you, and you point them out for me. Like, man, you're such a sucker for that, Tom. You always have, that always eats at you the wrong way.
Well, listen.
The small person could do anything thing is you can't stand that. You don't
because
like it.
It's not true. It's not true, and also it doesn't. You're singling out them. In sports, it can be problematic depending on the sport you play. So more frequently, it comes to the surface on this kind of a show. But I'm saying it could be in other sports or lots in life where a certain deficiency would affect you greatly, and it wouldn't have to do with size. And I would say, oh, no, he's going to have a problem. Because in that arena, this counts, and he doesn't have this other thing that's going to be necessary. So it's not – I don't think it's specific to being little. You do. You think it is.
I do, because even Y.E. Yang, you never give Y.E. Yang any credit.
He won one meaningful
right,
event.
But you always point to his size.
Y.E. Yang, it doesn't come up. When was the last time I brought up Y.E. Yang?
You get mad that Tiger, when we talk about Tiger's majors discussion, you get mad that Tiger didn't win that one because here comes this little guy out of nowhere.
It wasn't.
But it's always the little guy.
No, I called him a nobody. He was a nobody, and he still is. That wasn't I give him all the credit for that shot. That 3-wood over the water is insane, over the palm tree.
Oh, he went and took it.
He did take it, and I've always given him credit for that. He deserved to lift the bag up.
Right.
I've always given him credit for that. But I wasn't going to fall at the feet of Y.E. Yang because he caught a lucky run over 48 hours. I mean, none of us like to see the guy that is never going to win another damn tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That's true across the board.
Depends on the story, but yes.
Yeah, if there's a good backstory, I'll root for anybody.
It's like,
the
guy, tragedy in his life.
Right. You overcome injury or, a tragedy of some sort. I'm rooting for you, man. I'm a humanist.
43, and he was once the number one recruit in America.
Didn't work out. Right. No, I'm a humanist. I want to see it work for people.
And heroin got involved.
Right, I'm rooting for all of that. But these one-offs where you just get hot for a week and going to take away from the greatness.
His hand shakes still when he putts, but for some reason he squares it up for an entire weekend because his hand-eye is still that good.
But you get mad about this too. I'm telling you, when you see somebody, you get mad, for example, an inferior hockey team whose goalie's standing on his head. That's part of it. It's always been part of it. You get mad about that, as you should.
Yeah.
As you should. Like, oh, really? So
Ryan Miller, Roberto Luongo, just to name a couple.
It's just ridiculous. We have owned this game, and we're going to lose.
Yeah, especially when regular season games matter. They don't for Tampa these days because we just win so many of them. But when it's, in a best of 7, like if you lose a game, but then now you're on the brink of losing a second, and all it takes is 4 to get to the next round.
Right.
It's 50 saves.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the 50 saves?
Yeah, right. You're like, okay, so now you're going to be great. You haven't been great all year, but now you're going to be that guy.
Yeah, this punk.
Yeah. No, it infuriates you. I know. I've been there to see it. You're like, oh, so that's what we're doing here tonight? I feel the same way.
Went off the knob of his goal stick, did it? Of course it did.
Florida State recruiting. We're looking at linemen, and it was apparently a very productive weekend for Florida State. I need to get to that. I just was responding to people. You're trying to dig deep to see if I have something against Likes because he's short. I had something against him because he was 0 for 12, hoisted up dumbass shot and he plays for Miami. That's the other reason, is that he's a Cane, and we swept that ass. That's the other reason. So there you go. Get you some of that. It was gloating more than anything else.
Hi, I'm Chris York with Monogram Art. While our name mentions monograms, we are a lot more than that. We offer a full line of corporate apparel to businesses and organizations, and we carry clothing brands such as Cutter & Buck, Nike Golf, Port Authority, and caps from Richardson, Outdoor Cap, Ahead, Yupong, and many more. We have the ability to create custom embroidered apparel that your employees will be proud to wear. So swing by our showroom at 2522 Capitol Circle Northeast or find us online at monogramart.com. Let us help you wear your brand.
Can't we all get along?
Blue Chair Bay Rum presents Kenny Chesney, Songs for the Saints Tour.
No shit.
Friday, April 26th, Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. With special guests David Lee Murphy and Caroline Jones. Tickets on sale now at TuckerCivicCenter.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group and AEG presents.
But we're all right.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you: printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
It began with a challenge from the game's greatest players, a mission to solicit speed from every detail of the driver. The new Titleist TS2 and TS3 drivers were born from the pursuit of speed. And now Edwin Watts Golf challenges you to find a faster driver than the new Titleist TS2 or TS3 by participating in the Faster Than Yours Challenge, exclusively at Edwin Watts Golf. For a limited time, test your current driver against the new TS2 and TS3 drivers, and you could win a $200 gift card. Come take the Titleist Challenge today, exclusively at Edwin Watts Golf for a limited time only.
Hi, this is Gene Deckeroff for Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. 2019 is here, and we've got to get rid of all the remaining 2018s. And the only way to do that is to offer employee pricing on over 50 Jeep Wranglers in stock. We've never been able to offer such unbelievable prices on Jeep Wranglers, and with over 50 in stock, they all must go. Buy one for as low as $29,900 or save up to $5,600 on in-stock vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
We're completing our descent and will arrive in TLH shortly.
Oh, I'm so happy to be home.
Once we land, you can take off again with savings from the City of Tallahassee.
What do you mean?
The City of Tallahassee offers rebates for up to $300 in savings when you purchase energy-efficient appliances.
Wow, that would be a huge help.
The city also offers free energy audits.
What's an energy audit?
It's when an energy auditor comes to your home at the time that's convenient for you, examines your structure, and checks your energy and water systems. Then, they recommend changes that could save you energy, water, and money. The city also offers free ceiling insulation grants for qualifying customers.
Man, the city sure offers a lot of ways to save money. Once we land, I will check out all of the products and services the city has to offer. This makes me proud to call Tallahassee home.
Thank you for flying with us today. Don't forget that you can take off with savings with the City of Tallahassee. From rebates for Energy Star appliances to insulation grants. You can save energy, water, and money. Visit talgov.com for more information.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening after publicly saying for years he wanted to win in New Orleans, and about face from Anthony Davis. His agent, Rich Paul, told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski he's informed the Pelicans that the All-NBA forward won't sign an extension and has requested a trade, wants to go to a team that has a chance to win a championship. Magic Johnson and the Lakers certainly among those interested before the February 7th trade deadline, but New Orleans holds all the cards, cautions ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
I don't think it's up to Magic. I think it's up to the Pelicans, and whether the Pelicans want to do business with the Lakers now or whether they want to bring the Celtics into the mix over the summer. Even if it's not to trade them to the Celtics, just getting the Celtics into the bidding would affect what they need to do.
Celtics can't trade for Davis until July 1st because the designated rookie exception, which does not allow Kyrie Irving and Davis's contracts on the roster together. Irving becomes a free agent July 1st. Carmelo Anthony has one thing in mind when it comes to his next move. Anthony told MSG Network at this point he just wants to be happy. The 10-time All-Star, currently a member of the Bulls, will likely be a free agent soon. Warriors tonight look to run their winning streak to 11 straight when they take on the Pacers. An estimated $6 billion will be wagered by Americans on Super Bowl 53, according to survey results released by the American Gaming Association. The Patriots-Rams matchup will be the first NFL title game since sports betting became legal in several states outside of Nevada. College basketball tonight, Zion Williamson leads number 2 Duke against Notre Dame. 7 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Blue Devils have won 12 of their last 13. Soccer, PSG, and Brazil superstar Neymar may need season-ending surgery on his injured right foot. He injured that same foot last year.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
bring in Ryan Roberts, a offensive lineman from Northern Illinois. We get that commitment. Grad transfer, 6'6", 297. Was it 18 games the last 2 seasons he's played in? Most importantly, he's a tackle. I don't know if he's any good or not.
Apparently he did okay with Brian Burns because they played heads up. Obviously,
yeah, they
this
did,
past
obviously,
fall.
yeah. I don't expect him to come in and dominate, but remember where the bar is, folks. The reason I don't poo-poo something like this is, A, he's a tackle. We don't have any. So that's a good thing. Let's bring some bodies in here, at least none that can play. So you bring in a guy now. Let's say he's okay. Let's say he's kind of sorry. Kind of sorry is infinitely better than Juwan Williams. So if kind of sorry replaces can't play a lick, I'll take kind of sorry.
And that guy's not small, so there you go, yeah.
Guys, last year we had to roll out with starting at right tackle, I can't play a lick. Now we're going to, he's kind of sorry. Who we starting this week? Kind of sorry. Beats not starting. Beats not playing. Beats playing. Can't play a lick. It's true, but he is kind of sorry. Better than can't play a lick. To what degree? I guess we'll see, but I know he's better. And then from there, if you do that at each position, and maybe you get Landon Dickerson back, once again, you can go kind of sorry is starting at right tackle. Butt-ass average is starting at guard.
God, if we could just have 5 of those.
Wouldn't it be something to go, what's your line? If you had to describe your offensive line as a unit, what would you say about them? Butt-ass average? Butt-ass average? Well, you guys have improved greatly.
You might win 10 games.
Indescribably sorry was how I described the unit a year ago. Now we're just butt-ass average. My God, things are changing in Tallahassee. That's what you'd have to do. So today we learned, or over the weekend we learned, that we go from can't play a lick to kind of sorry with potential for mediocre. Kind of sorry with potential for mediocre.
Boy, mediocre, man. That's what we want around here.
Tell you what, if you go from can't play a lick at right tackle to kind of sorry, and then on left tackle you go from poor to okay. So we went from can't play a lick to kind of sorry, and then we went from poor to okay at left tackle. Think about what that would represent. Against these lesser tier teams, we might actually be able to pick up a yard or two before getting hit.
So I was going to say yards. That's what that represents.
Yards.
And we like yards. Yards are a predictor of success.
Yeah, they are, especially when they're not negative.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Stat heads will tell you more than points, right?
That's
yards,
correct.
Yards will predict over the long
more
haul.
consistently.
More
yes.
consistently.
Yeah, they are a better representation of what your offense is and will do.
Outside of garbage time, of course.
That's correct. So if somewhere when the game is on the line, you're able to amass consistently positive yardage, it does portend of good things to come in the way of points eventually.
Yardage closer to the end zone that your opponent is defending.
That's correct.
Not the one behind you.
That's correct. And now throw in the mix, we signed a kicker. Again, I don't go over the top when it comes to kickers because I don't know if they'll be able to successfully make the transition. The young man, Ryan Fitzgerald, Florida State gets a commitment from him. Apparently he's really good in high school. I would guess any kicker we would want to recruit would have to be really good in high school. And admittedly, what was once a nightmare is now a strength and has been for seemingly eons. I mean, we have been able to straight kick it for a long time. Whether we're going back to onions, forward, hell, Sebastian Janikowski on. We have been kicking fairly well for a very, very long time. Fairly well to elite. It's been the antithesis of the offensive line.
Right, and the antithesis of Alabama's kicker situation.
That's right. Luckily for them, they infrequently need that. So I will just say, again, good on you. Now, what I continue to want to follow along with here is Again, I look at quotes like this, and they're going after Kamar Bell. Let's see if they can get Kamar Bell, right? Quote, I have stronger feelings for FSU. I suppose that's good. He's a neck-and-neck guy with Auburn. He said that the visit made a strong impression. But I think the thing that stood out to me, another offensive lineman, by the way, that's why I'm bringing him up. The thing that stood out to me was that, quote, my mom prefers FSU. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We got to listen to mama.
Yep.
He also said that he may come back this upcoming weekend when defensive back Jay Ward comes to town. Going to be here back-to-back weekends?
Well, that would
and
be...
mama likes it here?
Yeah.
Come on down, young man.
You know what we have in common with Mom? Mom makes pancakes, and so do we.
Lots of them.
That's right. We serve them
We
up.
have pancakes around here. Tasty.
Hands. Pancake here, pancake there. There you go.
Everywhere you look. Oh, I loved it a lot. I felt a strong connection to Coach Fry and Coach Woody. Okay, well, as long as you're good with Coach Woody, and we'll worry about the other stuff later. Don't know Coach Fry's going to be here. May or may not be.
Hey, man, he may be a listener of the show. Let's.
I'm not ripping it. I don't know what his future is here.
No,
you're talking about the kid?
Yeah, let's not tip him off here.
They need offensive linemen, and I think with Dante, Ira, and me, it could be special if I ended up here. How about that he already took a hankering to Ira Chaffel? Isn't that great? So now, Ira, you're doing your part. Oh, Ira Henry. Coach Taggart was great too, quote-unquote. He's changing the culture. My mom loved the visit. I like this visit a lot. Man of few words, straight to it, and I like that sentiment. So Ryan Roberts, by the way, the Northern Illinois offensive lineman that I mentioned at the top of the segment, joins Maurice Smith, Jay Williams, Dante Lucas. My man. All right, let's keep on adding on here. Let's keep on bringing kids. I know people want to talk about the quarterback, the Lance legendary kid. Legendary.
He's legendary. That's right. He needs to get grades in order. If he does, then we're in business.
Yeah, he's a 4-star quarterback who likes Kendall Briles. That's good news for us now. But I want to look more at the Charles Moore of the world, and I want to look more at
Ira Henry.
You
see that,
Darius
dude?
Washington. And
I get it's a 3-star. But you know
I
what?
don't care, man.
Right.
At this
Recruiting
point,
services and offense.
No. What we're talking about here is, again, we're going from can't play a lick to,
Look at Ira Henry. And that's the one. If you could summon the Naughty, the Marvin Wilson, the everything.
Oh, you want me to
Eddie
make
Goldman.
this happen? I made Dante Lucas come. What are you doing? I can't. How much am I supposed to?
You're needed now more than ever. We're not making bowls anymore, man.
There's only so much
we
I
want
can do.
bowls around here. Any of them.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll do the best I can.
How do you eat the stew of discontent in a bowl,
can't
man?
do it.
You got to have a bowl.
Hate that stew. It's the worst of all the stews. It's like swimming in the river of deceit. You just can't do it, Tom. You got to find a way.
I hope if we need them to, our assistant coaches are doing just that in order to get kids on campus. You swim in that river.
Oh, my.
You scuba dive.
Find a way. MyPillow.com. Comfortable. They are, these pillows, I tell you. 4-pack special. Still riding out with that 4-pack special. You get 2 MyPillows, 2 Go Anywhere pillows. They ship it to you for free. Money back guarantee now extended all the way through the end of March. In addition to that, you can wash these pillows. You can dry these pillows. They do not lose their shape. You fall asleep faster, clinically proven. Sleep longer and better, and snore less to boot. Use my promo code when ordering MyPillow, the 4-pack special. Go to the website, MyPillow.com. Click on the 4-pack special. Promo code 979 ESPN.
Somebody's waiting in the sea of truth right there.
Well played. MyPillow.com, 4-pack special, 97.9 ESPN is the promo code. Get yours today. Free shipping applies.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this. I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. JRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
Coming this April.
2-1 pitch. Fly ball, left field, playable. Ronald Acuna, fittingly. He's got it. The Atlanta Braves are National League East champions.
The NL East champs are back. Catch Atlanta Braves baseball all spring and summer long on Tallahassee Sports Monster 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Tallahassee, thank you for another great year. Tallahassee truly is a Nissan town. Because of that, Nissan has come out swinging in 2019 with January savings like we've never seen before. With up to $5,000 off of 2019 Maximas, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Up to $10,000 off of 2019 Armadas and Titans. You want to save even more? We have a few remaining of most 2018 models that will save you up to an additional $2,500. But wait, it gets better. With our Nissan Zero and Savings event, Kraft Nissan has 0% interest on 14 models, plus 0 down and 0 payments until after April tax day. And our hottest models, the all-new 2019 Altima and the 2019 Rogue, starting at just $21,900. And the all-new Nissan Kick starts at only $18,800 with available 1.9 interest for 60 months. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much. Way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Prices include dealer preparation charge, interest rates with approved credit.
Hey, Seminole fans, the weather's still chilly, but the prices are hot, hot, hot during the winter clearance event happening now at Garnet & Gold. For a limited time only, take an unbelievable 40% off regular priced Florida State outerwear, including jackets, sweats, and long sleeve tees. And take an additional 30% off all clearance items. Save big time during the winter clearance event on now at all 3 Garnet & Gold locations, West Pensacola Street, Killarn, and our flagship store on Governor Square Boulevard. If you're a Seminole, we're your store. Shop local and go Noles.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Stan, I got a great Luis Castillo story for you because he'd get on team flights and forget to bring his clothes, and the cultural transfer was so difficult that he once set off a fire alarm in a hotel because he thought it was a shampoo dispenser. And one time, during that hitting streak, a lot of people were talking to him and asking him questions, and he didn't know anything about baseball history, nothing at all. So they're in St. Louis, right? They're telling him about Lou Brock, and he's got no knowledge whatsoever of Lou Brock. But later, he was introduced to somebody, and as he's shaking that person's hand, they say to him, "Do you know who this is?" And he says, "Lou Brock. It was Stan Musial." Oh, my.
People have confused them in the past.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Man Cave Monday, brought to you by Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Right on the corner and always right on the price. Check out the latest 2019 inventory at TallahasseeDCJ.com today.
Man, New Orleans got cracked in the jewels again. Anthony Davis says, "I'm out." Bad for the NBA. 1 week after the NFL fiasco, and the city of New Orleans is like, okay, really? Anybody else?
Enjoy your king cake.
Can somebody put together a team organically anymore is the question that I have about the NBA currently. I don't like it. I mean, right now I would say that, Milwaukee's doing it, but Giannis is peacing out as soon as he can, probably.
You can. You just have to be in a big market when you start the draft process.
Or New York or
Philly,
Boston
what Philly's doing.
Yeah. I know, man. It makes me. I don't like that. I like the days in which superstars got drafted wherever they got drafted, and they went there and they said, you know what? I hate all of you, and I'm going to be the reason that this city that drafted me, is going to rise up and rule the day. And if you've got a good player, I recognize that, and I shall surpass that. I will lure people on my own for you to come here. We will win games because of my greatness, and others will want to be here. And in time, this fair city, the one wise enough to have selected me, will say, all right, we're a contender. We're going to spend. We're going to bring some pieces of the puzzle to help you out. Instead of, it's a good situation they got over there. I should leave here and go be with them, where I'll be second fiddle or third fiddle or fourth fiddle, but I'm guaranteed to win. I know the retort is they're allowed to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's free agency. Sure. I'm just telling you my preferences. My preferences are for the guys that are like, no, to hell with those other guys. We're going to win here. That's my preference. I think the league would prefer that too, by the way, because every time somebody emerges as elite and they're in a small market, they get plucked. They get told, peace out. So what ends up happening is the rest of that league becomes a farm system for the major markets. That's never a good look. Baseball used to struggle with that. It's not always true in baseball. It's not always true in the NBA. I'm not trying to make that blanket statement, but when it begins to look that way and appear that way, that the best markets, most popular markets, biggest media markets with the most opportunity and money is able to kind of put together these super teams, the rest of the league is playing for what? For what? It's not a good look.
$2 hot dogs on Wednesday night.
It sucks, man. It does. And I guess now this case is unique because I would argue, I suppose, that New Orleans had several years. What, they had 5?
He tried. If Boogie doesn't get hurt, they might like playing with each other.
Yeah,
and,
that's the big one.
Win a playoff series or two. Yeah,
that might have gone a long way. Yes, so there are mitigating factors here. I don't know why New Orleans couldn't be great. I mean, the original Jazz were there, and oh, by the way, New Orleans is an awesome city, especially if you got money.
I know you're making a lot in endorsements, but the tax rate in California, I mean, this is a static number across the league, and like California dollars are not nearly as valuable as dollars in Florida or Texas.
I guess when you're getting $50 million, you're not worried about the taxes.
It's about the endorsements.
There.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
22 Capitol Circle Northeast, or find us online at monogramart.com. Let us help you wear your brand.
This is Chris Kraft with news that is sure to change the car buying landscape in North Florida. Our brother Peter and I are now the proud new owners of the Infiniti dealership in Tallahassee, the all-new Kraft Infiniti. As Mercedes-Benz dealers for over 25 years early in our careers, we know how to sell and service Highline vehicles the right way. At Kraft Infiniti, our mission statement is simple: to provide our customers with a car buying experience that is unsurpassed in value, consideration for your time, and pure enjoyment. Finally, the Highline experience you deserve, and it's from the Kraft brothers. Infiniti is much more than a brand name. It's a lifestyle and it's a statement. And at Kraft Infiniti, Peter and I will go beyond your expectations in providing the best sales and service experience in Tallahassee. So come see us at the all-new Kraft Infiniti, beyond your expectations, and brought to you by the Kraft brothers. Kraft Infiniti, 3355 Capitol Circle Northeast, conveniently located between Home Depot and the I-10 flyover. Call 297-1488 or visit us on the web at craftinfinity.com.
Everybody knows that the holiday season is also known as engagement season. Now that the season's over, it's time for some planning. Social Catering has several options for your wedding event and catering needs. They're Tallahassee's largest catering company, and they manage event spaces at venues like Madison Social, Township, and The Gathering. They can plan all of your wedding events, engagement parties, bridal brunches, rehearsals, even wedding receptions. No new rock on the finger? Hey, doesn't matter. Whatever the event, they've got you covered. For more details, email matt@madisonsocial.com. Again, that's matt@madisonsocial.com. I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Hi, this is Gene Deckeroff for Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. 2019 is here, and we've got to get rid of all the remaining 2018s. And the only way to do that is to offer employee pricing on over 50 Jeep Wranglers in stock. We've never been able to offer such unbelievable prices on Jeep Wranglers, and with over 50 in stock, they all must go. Buy one for as low as $29,900 or save up to $5,600 on in-stock vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening after publicly saying for years he wanted to win in New Orleans, and about face from Anthony Davis. His agent, Rich Paul, told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski he's informed the Pelicans that the All-NBA forward won't sign an extension and has requested a trade, wants to go to a team that has a chance to win a championship. Magic Johnson and the Lakers certainly among those interested before the February 7th trade deadline, but New Orleans holds all the cards, cautions ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
I don't think it's up to Magic. I think it's up to the Pelicans, and whether the Pelicans want to do business with the Lakers now or whether they want to bring the Celtics into the mix over the summer. Even if it's not to trade them to the Celtics, just getting the Celtics into the bidding would affect what they need to do.
Celtics can't trade for Davis until July 1st because the designated rookie exception, which does not allow Kyrie Irving and Davis's contracts on the roster together. Irving becomes a free agent July 1st. Carmelo Anthony has one thing in mind when it comes to his next move. Anthony told MSG Network at this point he just wants to be happy. The 10-time All-Star, currently a member of the Bulls, will likely be a free agent soon. Warriors tonight look to run their winning streak to 11 straight when they take on the Pacers. An estimated $6 billion will be wagered by Americans on Super Bowl 53, according to survey results released by the American Gaming Association. The Patriots-Rams matchup will be the first NFL title game since sports betting became legal in several states outside of Nevada. College basketball tonight, Zion Williamson leads number 2 Duke against Notre Dame. 7 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Blue Devils have won 12 of their last 13. Soccer, PSG and Brazil superstar Neymar may need season-ending surgery on his injured right foot. He injured that same foot last year.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Good to be with you. Hope you're well. Hope Monday's not beating you up too bad. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming, free always. If you missed portions of the program or even all of it, you can go back and get caught up at your leisure, as we shall post it upon the conclusion of the show, both to iTunes and our own audio vault. And you can also find it on the WTSM app, so we make it pretty easy for you. Email the show if you want. A lot of good emails came in over the weekend, jcs@979espnradio.com. Also, if you want to watch the show being performed, you can. Go to YouTube and type in Jeff Cameron Show or ESPN Tallahassee. You'll be sure to find us. And that's also true of Periscope. If you go there, you'll find it on Twitter. It's at 979 ESPN Radio. All right, so we're good to go there. 78-66, your win yesterday for Florida State, a big one on the road. And the reason I say a big one isn't because you throttled an ACC team. No, that's a weak ACC team is Miami. But rather, you want a road game. Don't do much of that around these parts. Awfully hard to win road games in the ACC. I understand that. That's been especially true of Florida State, where we've been so good at home but struggled like many others in this conference on the road. I believe that's just our 5th win out of the last 18 tries while playing in another's arena. And that was nice to see, and it was a dominant win. Joining us now to talk about that, as well as the big recruiting weekend, our good buddy Ira Schoffel, warchant.com, as he joins us now. Ira, bear with us. Let's hope this phone works out well. We've had our troubles. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good, and you sound crystal clear, buddy. You sound good.
Awesome.
I think you were mentally and physically prepared for this hit.
I'm focused.
I think you were locked in, ready to go. Hey, I had fun last hour because I was talking about one of the recruits' quotes, and it involved Ira, in which he said, in fact, that he feels like he has a bond between him and Ira. This could be a special place. And I said, look at you out there working so hard over the weekend to get these guys, especially offensive linemen. You know how much I appreciate that after watching this sorry group play last year? Keep up the good work, buddy.
I'd like to take the credit, Jeff. I think he was speaking about Ira Henry, an offensive line recruit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. There are so few Iras in the world, and I thought for sure he had to be talking about you, a local star, covering. I figured you had bonded in some way, some capacity. I know you're filled with life lessons that young man could have latched onto and thought, this is home.
I'm not saying I wouldn't bond with him, but
you didn't.
That did not happen, unfortunately.
Well, okay, so I saw Michael Langston talking about this on warchant.com, and so I'll get your thoughts, obviously, as you have the ability to tap into that resource and find out what the buzz is surrounding recruiting after the big weekend that was there on warchant.com for Florida State and for, obviously, Willie Taggart and his staff. Things went well, I assume?
Yeah, I think they went really well. I mean, it doesn't seem to be this staff's approach to get a lot of these guys to push a lot of these guys to announce commitments during the visits. I don't know. You never know what the coaches' strategies are. It used to be back in the old days, the kids would kind of commit whenever they decided that's where they wanted to go to school. But really, it's been a long time. Jimbo is really good at it, and every coach has their own approach for kind of when they orchestrate when the kids commit. So a lot of times a prospect will tell the coaches, okay, this is where I'm coming, or they get the feeling this is where they're going to go, and they ask them, and the kids will say, yeah, I'm coming to Florida State. But then they'll say, oh, well, it'd be really good if you waited till this day, or it would be great if you waited till we come for our in-home visit, or why don't you just wait until this or that. So a lot of it's kind of orchestrated now in terms of when it comes out, but I mean, it seems really likely that a few of those guys that were in this weekend that they hope to get assurances from, it sounded like they did. Now, again, they're not commitments. We're not reporting them as commitments. But, yeah, I definitely think the weekend went really well. And, again, they were going a lot harder on the offensive side this cycle after what they did on the defensive side in the early period. And so this group in this weekend, there was a lot of offensive linemen, the quarterback, running backs, some guys like that.
Yeah, and all I care about is the offensive line. I don't care anything about that 4-star quarterback that feels good about his connection with Kendall Briles. I read each and every piece on warchant.com, and all I did was come back to offensive line, whether it's the kid from Northern Illinois, whether it's the pending grad transfer from Virginia, whether it's JUCO or just a young man we've been recruiting. Would you be able to put a total that you think they'll be around when it comes to numbering offensive linemen, new faces, hope for change, all of that Florida State fans are desperately clinging to? What are we looking at in total, do you think, for this class?
It's funny you say that, because it's literally, as an editor of the site, when I'm reading the content or talking to Michael about what we're putting up here and then, it's always traditionally offensive line usually doesn't move the needle, historically.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, what in terms of people wanting to read stories, it's usually the quarterbacks, the skill position guys, maybe an elite pass rusher or whatever. But it's funny, this morning I was deciding which story to put up first, an offensive lineman or a defensive end, and I ended up going with the defensive end, but I thought to myself after, no, all anybody cares about is the offensive line.
You're damn right.
So I think you're in good company. But I think it looks like probably about 7 or 8 total. I think the new faces that'll be coming in when you add in the guys they signed plus these graduate transfers. It looks like probably 2 graduate transfers. They got the guy from Northern Illinois,
Ryan Roberts. Yep.
They might get the guy Proctor from Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
If not him, there's some other ones out there as well. And then there's they already signed 3 in the early period, and I think they'd like to sign maybe 2 more high school guys. So overall, you'd be with 7 or 8. And then on top of that, we haven't really talked about this, but it looks like Andrew Baselli is looking to walk on to try to get back in the program. I don't know that he's a guy that is going to be in the mix for this season, but it's another guy you'd be adding to that group. Again, last year, not only did those guys not play well, but they didn't have any options. I mean, you could be out there at practice, and Greg Fry's got a group of 7 or 8 guys. Well, if you bring in 8 guys, 9 guys, at least you're getting that group to where you have some options again, and they just had none last year.
Baselli, if you're listening to me, you need to get on the juice, young man. We got to get you a lot bigger. We got to change some of that body weight around. Okay, Ira Henry, Kamar Bell, and all the rest, right? We're going to get them all?
Mm-hmm. I think the Kamar Bell from Colquitt County, things are looking good there. Obviously,
it's us and Auburn, right? Us and Auburn, right?
He was leaning towards Auburn because Florida State didn't jump on him as early as maybe he wanted. He really wanted an offer last summer. It didn't happen. But his mother really wants him. Florida State's very close to – Auburn's close too, but Florida State's very close to Moultrie, Georgia. I think his mom really likes Florida State. Would like him to be here. And then they just got his the kicker from that school just committed. They've got another kid, defensive back, coming in to visit from that school. So they've got some good connections with that school as well.
Have you broken down Ryan Fitzgerald's tape? Can you tell me that he's going to be a consistently awesome kicker?
It's that to me is always the craziest thing. Because I know they've got a really accomplished high school kicker who's playing to walk on here as well. It's to me, that's just the most fascinating. You don't even have a kicking coach, so who decides? Who's the expert on this? We saw FSU special teams last year, so who is the one that says, yeah, this is the guy we've got to have? That I've never understood that at all. And you think back to, and I hate to kill the kid because he was a really nice guy, and I like talking to him. Chase Goggins, remember when they signed him?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
he was supposed to be the best kicker of all time. Had all these 58-yarders in high school, and then he couldn't make the transition. In high school, they get to use that little midi T thing, and in college, you have to kick off the ground. He could not do it. He just could not. So I don't know. I'm sure this kid's got a strong leg, and hopefully he'll be good. But how in the world could you evaluate a kicker, especially if you're not a kicker?
Well, they don't. Ira, they don't. They don't know. Basically, I'm serious about this. That's all across. My brother was an elite kicker. This is a true story, and he got scholarship offers all over the country, including to Iowa and other places. Now he wanted to be a marine biologist, so he ended up going to JU and playing soccer instead. But that's a true story. It was such an unknown, and I think it is such an unknown unless you have a guy on your staff who actually kicked, like you said. I think a lot of it is just, were they really good in high school? Were they consistently good in high school? You can judge power. You can judge, their kickoffs and things like that, but you don't know if they're going to transition. For example, it's one thing to be able to look at a kid who runs a 4.440. If he's running a 4.440,
yes,
he's probably going to run a 4.440 when he gets here. But a kid, but kicking, you can't do it. You don't know. And so you just sign a kid who made a lot of kicks in high school, who seemed to be impervious to pressure if you can find one, and hope like hell he transitions.
And even at the college level, for the most part, those guys have their own coaches. It's not like when Roberto went through a little rough patch, or if Ricky goes through a rough patch, it's not like they're going to sit down with Willie or Alonzo Hampton when he was here, whoever it is, and be like, and even Jimbo would the only thing he would ever say about Ricky or Roberto is they need to keep it simple. They're complicating it too much. They need to just go kick the ball. Yeah. It's like, it might be more complicated than that, Chief. But it's definitely a crapshoot, I think. But the fact that they offered this kid and he went to that same high school as two other kids that they've got committed, or not committed, two other kids they really want to get an offensive lineman and the other kid, that would certainly couldn't hurt their case with that coaching staff in that school.
I talked about it to start the show, and I'll talk about it again here. I know last night belonged to MJ Walker, and what a cool thing to see him snap out of a terrible shooting slump. In ACC play, he had just been god-awful, and so to see him go 6 of 7 from 3, it's great. And to see Florida State now, shoot 60% in that game and 52% combined in their last 2 games, that's a positive sign. But I wanted to stress that I really love watching a guy like Trent Forrest, who we both know, Ira, is nowhere close to where he needs to be or where he could be if he wasn't so banged up. But he shows the heart of a lineman, and he's still better than any option we have right now. I mean, I thought when Nichols got out there, he can do some things, but he didn't play well in this game, got pushed around a little bit. Forrest was able to handle what Miami was trying to do. And this is a team made up of those guys, right? You've got Terrence Mann fighting through injury. You got Phil Kofer, who knows how often he's able to play. This group, it's going to need MJ Walker, and it's going to need Kabengele, and it's going to need guys to emerge. But really, that core has to find a way to play through pain and give you something.
Yeah, there was one possession, I think it was in the first half, where Terrence Mann got the ball underneath the basket, and the defensive player was just like, okay, well, I'm waiting for you to jump so I can block your shot, because I know you can't get off the ground. Mm-hmm. And Terrence just kind of kept pump faking, and I'm like, finally they're going to call 3 seconds. You got to do something. And then finally he went up, and the guy just swatted his shot. But yeah, I mean, same thing with Terrence. I mean, with Trent Forrest, you could see it's almost like he's having to make business decisions. Like, okay, I've got to go to the basket now, even though I know I really don't want to go to the basket right now. I don't want to jump, and I don't want to land. So they're having to make do. I think the thing that, to me, it's encouraging that Kofor was out there. But it's frustrating when you watch them to know that those issues, their heel, toe, whatever it is, issues, could mean the difference between this team really having just a good season or having a great season.
Yep.
And that's got to be really frustrating to the coaching staff, because you only have a short window in college basketball. Nobody knows. I mean, now there's talk about Kabengele and whether scouts are going to, and you just don't know how many guys are going to stay or go and whatever. And they've got a really good group of players with great pieces, and it would be frustrating if you just can't accomplish what all you could, because not everybody's feeling good.
It's tragic, potentially. For now, I'll just kind of recalibrate and say, if they can go to 9-9 in the conference and go back to the tournament and keep all this positive momentum flowing, that would be back-to-back-to-back years. We'll always wonder what could have been if Obiagu hadn't left, if this team wasn't so injury-riddled. But I think they need to continue the positive momentum getting back to the tournament, and that's not where our heads were at before the season began. I think we all thought this team, as currently constructed with all that of experience and talent, could really find a way to make another great run. Now I think you just really have to say, can they make the tournament? And you'd be pretty happy with that at this point, just because some of those guys' injuries, it doesn't appear, are going to heal in time for that to happen.
Yeah, and again, I think yesterday was a very good sign, though. The fact that they shot well on the road, the fact that I thought they guarded pretty well. Now, Miami's not a good team,
No.
and they're kind of – I think it's going to get worse and worse for them. I did hear you making fun of the Likes kid in the first –
Shoot another one,
I don't
kid.
know why.
Shoot another one.
I just can't stand that kid. I don't know why. Like, it makes me mad that he's out there. I texted Corey, and like I'm always kind of against the scrappy white kid, the gym rat, that character. And to me, it's like that's what he is, and it's just like, dude, you're not doing anything. You're only being mentioned because you're 5'7".
Yep. Thank you.
But anyway.
Thank you, brother. Come on board. That's right. That's exactly why he's being mentioned. I'll talk to you tomorrow, brother. Be well.
All right, Jeff. See you, man.
Take care. That's it. There it is, Ira. You see? I tire of that nonsense narrative as well. They prattle on, oh, what a story. He sucks. Stop rambling on. He's 0 for 12. Talk about him some more. Yeah, take another shot. Look at that. He shot it. He sure did. And it missed again. He's so quick and he overcomes his height deficit. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Like, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. And I'll tell you that that I don't blame him personally. And I don't know the young man. We could be the best of friends, I'm sure, someday. Who knows? It's the storyline that I rebel against, and Ira does, and I think others do too.
I don't know. I mean, once upon a time in pickup football games near you, I was scrappy. I'm white. You hate me?
It's why you didn't want our boy out of Stanford.
Who, McCaffrey?
Uh-huh.
He had burst, man. Okay, he had burst, but his top end did not show like it does on Sundays. He could get from 0 to 60, and he looked like a one-cut guy, but that dude he's developed beyond what he was at Stanford. He was already a good piece as a pass catcher, dude, but you even agreed you didn't expect to see him tote it 12 to 15 times a week.
I didn't think he'd be between the tackles, but I thought the high-end speed was there. His special teams film was who's who of like the greatest returns in history. He's fast as hell. I mean, that was one of the things that now I got tired of, just like we get tired of the lazy narratives with quarterbacks. Right. And how many years that went on where guys would use code words, racism to describe black quarterbacks. Yeah, I got tired of that with McCaffrey because every time he'd break a 98-yard run, they're like, faster than you think. Oh, Jesus. No, he's just fast, man. He's just really fast.
His burst was always late, which is why I thought he'd be a good pass catcher. But my thing was, you're really going to draft.
I didn't think he was thick enough and tough enough to endure 20 carries a game. That's been the surprise.
So you want Edelman in round 1. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like you could make an argument for it, but you kind of need Brady for Edelman to matter.
Yeah, but the difference was that McCaffrey could carry the football. I think certainly prolific in college at a Power 5 school.
Right. We expected, though, 5 to 8 carries a game. Not he is your feet. He does everything. He's going to go over 2,000 all-purpose yards.
No, it's nuts. I thought he could carry. I thought he could touch the ball. I thought if you were doing it right, he would touch the ball 20 times a game, but probably 10 to 12 passes and 8 runs, like traditional runs.
Yeah, it also is really it's situation you go to, right? Because that offense is so unorthodox and all the wrinkles they throw out there. I mean, like Kansas City does weird stuff, but Carolina is really weird. I mean,
it's a hodgepodge. It's kind of what some offenses are changing, though. I mean, I feel like McCaffrey would have been successful in Philadelphia with what they do, in Kansas City with what they do.
Not as prolific, though, because, I mean, he has to be everything to them right now.
Well, and that's the other problem is they don't have a ton of other weapons, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
Well, Cam's arm was shot.
Well, shot, yeah. But
we got us one, though. McCaffrey.
You know who loves that more than anybody else? Jason, what's his face? Whitlock. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever.
Oh, does he?
He won't stop talking about it.
Go figure.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Mayock, who is now heading the draft with the
Raiders.
The Raiders, lest we forget.
Mayock is still angry at Jameis. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Or pay your bill from your mobile device. This winter, take advantage of great rebates and 0% financing for 36 months. Learn more online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 057652.
Barano Heating and Air Conditioning.
Need help moving? Two Men and a Truck Tallahassee provides professional home and business move services, both locally and long distance. For your next move, visit twomen.com or call them at 850-224-2232. Two Men and a Truck, the movers who care.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Coming this April.
2-1 pitch. Fly ball, left field, playable. Ronald Acuna, fittingly. He's got it. The Atlanta Braves are National League East champions.
The NL East champs are back. Catch Atlanta Braves baseball all spring and summer long on Tallahassee Sports Monster 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
The Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, who's celebrating their 95th year in business this year, would like to recognize their newest members.
Hi, I'm Corey Melton, the Vice President of Membership, and I'm proud on behalf of the Chamber to welcome our newest members from December. Canopy Gardens, Center for Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy, Compass Community Pharmacy, Danton Consulting, Data Set Ready, Eck Realty, Fleming Consulting Services, Florida Pro Computing, Golden Corral, Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida, Kiever McKee Engineering, Nuvita Weight Loss, Park Avenue Inn, Parker Services, and Ricardo's.
The Chamber is proud to support over 1,400 local businesses representing over 60,000 employees. For information on how your business can be a part of the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104. Once again, contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for our all-new Ultimate Cheesy Garlic Bread. How would you like it?
I'll take the Ultimate Bromance.
Extra broy?
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, this ultimate spicy Italian made with ultimate cheesy garlic bread?
I know, bro.
So much melted mozzarella.
And this garlic butter spread, I can't take it, bro.
You know what this calls for.
Bro hug?
It's like we share the same brain, bro.
Bring it in.
Subway, make it what you want. Limited time only at participating restaurants.
This is Golic and Wingo.
Let me ask you guys this question. If the Lakers pull this deal off before the trade deadline, remember how David Stern got involved in the New Orleans to LA trade for Chris Paul? For Chris Paul. Would there be anywhere the other teams around the league would be like, wait a minute, Anthony Davis left his agent for LeBron's agent. LeBron has already been chastised for saying he'd like to have Anthony Davis on his team. And now, all of a sudden, he's with LeBron's agent, and he says, I want to be traded. I'm not signing this deal. If he were to end up in L.A., do you believe there'd be a little bit of an uproar from some of the other teams saying, hold on, we feel there's some kind of control thing going on here?
I think there would be a certain outcry with that just because it is LeBron and he was so unapologetic in everything that went on.
Again, nothing provable, I would think, but man, there's going to be an uproar.
Golic and Wingo, weekdays at 6 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Man Cave Monday, brought to you by Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Right on the corner and always right on the price. Check out the latest 2019 inventory at TallahasseeDCJ.com today.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. All right, let's go to some emails. I've been remiss, and we have some, so let's get caught up. I kind of shudder to think. I wonder, I mean, we always find a way. It usually is actually fun and a good challenge. But it occurs to me on this Monday how different things will be next Monday. How, the Super Bowl will be over, and it is time to move it along.
Thankfully, we get hockey back this week. Personally,
from a personal standpoint, that's true. From a show standpoint, that doesn't do us much good. So I'm just kind of always, but you know what? 20 years, I mean, we've found a way. It's just always been interesting, and I'm kind of curious where it steers us.
How about Joker yesterday, huh?
Well, he's in a zone for the ages, and to dispatch of an all-time great in 2.5 hours, straight sets of Get You Some, and oh, by the way, he did the same thing in the quarters and the semis and the quarters, just beating people about the head and neck.
He might be on pace for 21 or 22.
Well, before he got hurt, I thought he was the most serious threat to your boy because he had the perfect combination of power, reach, size, footwork. He could beat you from the baseline, not like Nadal does, but it was the best combination of all of the assets. So, I don't know. He's 31.
Yeah, need those knees to start,
You're going to need him to get
down.
hurt. But the problem is he doesn't play the same style as Nadal, who's always hurt.
Yeah.
So if his serve is going to be back like this, you're going to have a hard time holding on to the all-time.
No, I mean, he may win all of them for the next 4 or 5.
Well, if he plays anything close to what he did yesterday, yes, that's true. Now, I will say this. He extended his all-time record at the Australian Open. It's a court that he's comfortable on. So, 7 Australians later.
Yep, but
that translates to grass, of course, too. And
if he wins the French, though, look out.
Well, if he wins the French, it's Grand Slam time.
Yeah.
But I want to see that. Like, I root for that kind of stuff.
You know what? I'd love Wimbledon. It to be Roger one last time with the Joker.
What a war. Doesn't it feel...
I don't know that it would be.
No, how quickly this happens, by the way, and we'll move off of tennis for most of you going, what? What are they doing? What are they doing?
I thought the inbox was in play.
It is, but I will tell you this. Yeah, it is strange in how quick it can happen unless there's some other resurgence we don't see coming, and the first one was unexpected to say the least. It looks like Roger is not worthy. Understand context, is not worthy right now from a game standpoint of being on the court with Joker. Like, that doesn't look like that would translate, but anything more before sets.
Who is?
You know what I'm saying?
At the moment, though.
Somebody younger.
Yeah.
Somebody a lot younger who could match power for power.
Tsitsipas?
Maybe not Tsitsipas. Hey, guys, really enjoy your penetrating insights into FSU football.
Hey, now.
Nicely done, Mike. Also like your occasional forays into whimsy. I have 2 questions. If someone offered Taggart a 9-3 record for 2019, would he take it? Well, let's start with that question. I'll get to the second one in a second, Mike. So there's 2 answers here.
Yeah, you're going into his own psychology here.
Yeah. There's 2 answers here. I would prefer that our head coach not take a 9-3 record if offered. So what I would want to hear from Taggart is, no, we can be better than that. No, I like our chances to seriously upgrade our position, to be a much better team than you saw a year ago. And if he were being candid, maybe off the record, with this schedule, I think we can get to 10 wins. So I'm not willing to take 9-3 because I think we can do better. That's the answer I would want. Now, the other answer would be if he goes 9-3, we are going to remedy many of the problems that we saw this past year and be in position to take advantage of perhaps his greatest attribute, which is that of a recruiter. So if you're going to guarantee me that in year 2 we solve many of the riddles from a year ago and then launch the attack that is this recruiting monster we think he can be, I might take 9-3. I would say take it. I'd like an input on who the 9 wins are over.
It's fine for us to say that, but you're right. You want your coach to think, hell no.
No, he shouldn't. So I don't think he would. Oh, so you asked, would he take it? No, I don't think he would. And I don't want my coach to say yes to that. obviously, there are circumstances. If we're talking about, let's say we're doing a different city and different radio, we go to Kansas and we're doing Kansas football talk. God help me. And we're doing this same show. Yes, Kansas would take 9-3 every day of the week. They take 6-6 at this point, and they would run around naked at Celebration.
Les Miles would get the Alabama job.
Yeah, I mean,
if he went 9-3 at Kansas.
So it's certainly relative. But here, listen, they're missing an offensive line. They don't have an elite quarterback on the roster that we're aware of. They've got talent at the skill positions at running back, wide receiver.
I like how that there's like a vision of just there's a couple of quarterbacks we've never heard from.
Well, the kid from Louisville, Devin Travis's brother, might turn out to be great. I don't know, and I don't want to dismiss him before I see him. So, and we don't know that he's going to get a waiver to even be able to play this year. But in due time, he could be great. And then whoever this other kid is that we're recruiting, he could go on to be great. So I don't want to say we don't have somebody.
Well, we got another one, the Reese Plumlee kid who's
right.
committed to Georgia, and he's visiting this weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend.
So who knows? Real soon they may have the answer there. But right now we think we've got a guy that's above serviceable. I think Blackman and Kendall Brow's offense could be certainly above serviceable. I want nothing to do with DeAndre Francois. I'm perturbed that he's still here. Don't really see the purpose in that, and hope like hell that as soon as he gets his degree, he leaves. And I think he will, and that'd be great for all of us. So, I mean, we don't really have an elite quarterback right now, and you certainly don't have a consistent group up front. I'm putting it mildly. But if you see a transformation towards average on the offensive line, I think you could be a pretty good football team next year. I think you could. How about this? I think Florida State could be the surprise team in the ACC next year if they see that offensive line go from pitiful to slightly below average. If they go from pitiful, worst I've ever seen at a Power 5 school, to slightly below average in the conference, somewhere in the middle to lower tier, but just not bereft of talent at all.
Not last year,
right? They could because the schedule. We've talked about this. And then finally, he says the question is: would you sell your sense of taste for $10 million? Yes.
That's tough.
I'm 47. I've tasted a lot. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
February 7th trade deadline, but New Orleans holds all the cards, cautions ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
I don't think it's up to Magic. I think it's up to the Pelicans, and whether the Pelicans want to do business with the Lakers now or whether they want to bring the Celtics into the mix over the summer. Even if it's not to trade them to the Celtics, just getting the Celtics into the bidding would affect what they need to do.
Celtics can't trade for Davis until July 1st because the designated rookie exception, which does not allow Kyrie Irving and Davis's contracts on the roster together. Irving becomes a free agent July 1st. Carmelo Anthony has one thing in mind when it comes to his next move. Anthony told MSG Network at this point he just wants to be happy. The 10-time All-Star, currently a member of the Bulls, will likely be a free agent soon. Warriors tonight look to run their winning streak to 11 straight when they take on the Pacers. An estimated $6 billion will be wagered by Americans on Super Bowl 53, according to survey results released by the American Gaming Association. The Patriots-Rams matchup will be the first NFL title game since sports betting became legal in several states outside of Nevada. College basketball tonight. Zion Williamson leads number 2 Duke against Notre Dame. 7 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Blue Devils have won 12 of their last 13. Soccer, PSG and Brazil superstar Neymar may need season-ending surgery on his injured right foot. He injured that same foot last year.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shops work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
It began with a challenge from the game's greatest players, a mission to solicit speed from every detail of the driver. The new Titleist TS2 and TS3 drivers were born from the pursuit of speed. And now Edwin Watts Golf challenges you to find a faster driver than the new Titleist TS2 or TS3 by participating in the Faster Than Yours Challenge, exclusively at Edwin Watts Golf. For a limited time, test your current driver against the new TS2 and TS3 drivers, and you could win a $200 gift card. Come take the Titleist Challenge today, exclusively at Edwin Watts Golf for a limited time only.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, listen to Dave.
Andro 400, I really love it. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. It feels like I'm 25. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man.
Andro 400 Max, an extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Go to andro400.com or call 888-510-9336. That's 888-510-9336.
Want better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine? Change your oil every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. You know that sticker on your windshield? Don't look at it now. Wait until the next red light. Okay, check the number on your sticker. Then check your odometer. Is it time? There are 19 Tallahassee area Super Lube locations, which means there's one close to you right now. No appointments, and you're in and out in no time. You could do this today. Super Lube, for better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine.
How I love to Super Lube my car. Yes, sir.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
O'Reilly. Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All Canister Wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up Armor All Canister Wipes for $3.99. Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All Canister Wipes on sale for $3.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I thought it was going to be Friday. Don't want to jinx it too much. I love having work done on. We've had him on a few times over the years, and he's always been good to me when we've had him on. But, of course, we're also proud of work done. Hell, if you're a human being, you're proud of work done. Doesn't matter that he's a Knoll. It's great that he is, but with what he's done with his life, we all stand and applaud. So it's great to talk to him. Hopefully on Thursday we'll make that happen right now. His representation there at the Super Bowl saying, hey, he wants to come on. He's got some time. You want to have him on? Me on the other end typing back, and I can't do it fast enough. Yes, indeed. We get these a lot. Just to give you a peek behind the curtain, we get a lot of these requests from agents or agencies, especially surrounding big events, World Series, Super Bowl, you name it, Stanley Cup. And people will say, hey, so-and-so is promoting whatever they're promoting. Would you like to have them on? Sometimes it's not promoting anything. Sometimes it's just they want their client out front. And sometimes it's learning something, like they're trying to make the transition from a career into TV or radio. And the more interviews they do or are part of, the better off they are. Warwick doesn't appear to be pushing anything right now. It's just that his agent would like to have him on. And I said, yeah, baby. Let's do it. A lot of times I say no is the point behind the peek behind the curtain there.
Well, if he is somebody whoever needs support, I think the world would come and support him, right?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what he's coming on for, but I'm positing that out there. If he ever needed help with one of his foundations or something along those lines.
It's incredible, right?
The line would be around the corner and then wrap around the building again.
Mm-hmm. As it should be, man. I'm always blown away. You read into all that he's done and the amount of people that he's helped, it's just, you can't help but get teary-eyed with joy.
Deshaun Watson is one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's cool. Too bad it didn't work into Deshaun choosing to go to Florida State.
Now, there is one condition. That's like Warwick later in life.
I didn't know you were going to be an all-world quarterback.
I get you love Clemson, South Carolina, but there's one condition. You didn't see it in the fine print, but you're going to succeed Jameis Winston at Florida State, okay? Thank you.
Jeff, email from Eric. Fellas, I hope all is well. Subject is tinfoil hat theory. I have a tinfoil hat theory about Briles. I think he is our insurance policy. In the event that Willie has another bad year, Briles will be the head coach at FSU in 2020. I believe that even more now that he's been named the assistant head coach instead of just offensive coordinator. Your thoughts. Be well, Eric. I'll let you weigh in first.
Okay. Assistant head coach was interesting to see. There's no doubt. We all knew that he was going to get the keys to the offense by itself, and that would have, you would think, be enough along with a small pay raise.
I think that's how you justify the salary, first of all.
Probably. But, I mean, what was he only making? $100,000 more, a couple $100,000 more than Houston was willing to pay him for the same position. I mean, there are $1.3, $1.4 million coordinators all over the country now. Go to Clemson, you could make two. But I think also part of it is that if you look at the buyout structure of his contract, it's low. If he's leaving for another job, it's low. It's only $500K to leave for a head coaching job. I think part of the negotiation tool was probably to add this title and a low buyout factor so that people kind of understand my next goal, if I'm Team Briles, is to be a head coach somewhere.
No doubt he wants to be a head coach somewhere in due time. All young and up-and-coming coordinators who've had a measure of success do. It's not abnormal. I don't think, Eric, to answer your question, that he would be the next head coach at Florida State if Willie Taggart fails this year. I understand why one would jump to that conclusion. By the way, I don't think that anybody other than Willie Taggart will be our head coach in 2020. I think it would take a catastrophe along the lines of what we just saw this last year, which I don't think will happen for a multitude of reasons, one of which is Kendall Briles. The other is that you can't possibly be as bad as you were on the offensive line a year ago, and the third would be schedule. This is a very doable schedule. I said it last week. You could be fool's gold. You could have a record that says you're good and not be good, like we've seen from Miami the last several years. University of. They haven't been any good at all, and they've had good records.
Well, I think something to this theory, too, it's just if the offense is good, Willie gets credit for that. I mean, I hope we all understand that because he's decided to turn the keys over.
He gets credit for the decision. He won't get credit for anything other than the decision, if I could speak.
He should.
Oh, absolutely.
He should
That's-
absolutely.
We
That's
praised
the whole
Dabo.
point.
We praised Dabo for getting the hell out of the way and going and hiring good people.
So my point would be,
But
if
he doesn't get credit for the ingenuity. He doesn't get credit for.
No, but he gets credit for being a good head coach.
Well, that's
in that
exactly right.
moment.
But he doesn't get credit for the offense.
No, not for what it ranks.
Yeah,
you know, but
yeah.
he gets credit for tabbing somebody and
Absolutely.
finding
Well,
the
no,
right
we would
guy.
all praise the guy that knows what he doesn't know. Sure.
So let's just say the defense is terrible this year, but the offense is awesome, right? It's a complete flip. And so, I mean, they put up 30 points a game, whatever it is, and we lose a couple of games simply because we're outscored, but we're productive on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Willie is in trouble to lose his job in that circumstance because he fixed the offense. I think the university would look at his contract structure, how much money is left on the books. They'd say,
That's
well,
the bigger part of
you
it.
got that one right, so we're going to give you a chance to get the defensive side of things right. And
Yeah, they
now
don't-
you're really on your last legs. But, I mean, look at he can go back and say, look what I did. So let me reinvent the defense that's failing right now. He wouldn't get – if the offense is good this year, he's not getting fired no matter how bad we do overall.
We're talking about two different things here. If that team – when you say the defense is bad, does it lead to 6 losses? Does it lead to – how many losses does it lead to? Because if they have back-to-back years where they lose 6 or more games, he's about done. Now, he's not going to get fired.
But
I'm just saying he would not – I don't think he could recover from that. I mean that the third year is going to be his last.
Maybe, but the question is about Kendall Briles, 2020 head coach.
No, and I said that, and
Yeah.
I go back to that. No, nobody's going. I said nobody's going to be the head coach other than Willie Taggart in 2020, barring a disastrous campaign next year. I think if they went 4-8 with that schedule, you'd fire his ass, and you should.
Yeah. You probably go 4-8 and the offense doesn't look good either. You know what I mean?
I don't care if they score 100 points a game. If they go 4-8 after you win 5-7, get the hell up out of here. Back-to-back losing seasons? No. You got to go.
Well, if you score
You gotta go.
if you score 30 a game or somewhere close with this schedule, you're not losing 8 games.
I agree. I'm just giving you hypotheticals
Yeah.
in which the extreme could take place. And the extreme would be firing your head coach after just 2 years.
I think it would take mutiny of the players and a lack of communication with recruits. I mean, it would have to be a systematic failure behind the scenes beyond mediocre results on the football field in order for him to get fired this year.
4-8 is not mediocre. 4-8 is pitiful. So if
I'm ruling out 4-8 though.
I'm just what I'm saying. I'm giving you an extreme example. I don't care if they score 50 or 10 a game. If he goes 4-8, he's fired. But these are the extremes. I agree with you. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to come into play. But those are the only scenarios by which I could see him being let go, is what I'm saying. It would have to be something crazy. That's why I made this scenario nuts.
Sure. I just think it's important because I can see where that question is going.
Yeah.
Willie gets credit for doing this and changing and not being stubborn.
If that offense
If it
somehow,
works.
some way,
Yeah.
if that offense somehow, some way, and the somehow, some way would be that your offensive line is good or decent, goes out and is second only to Clemson, which it will be. Certainly. It may be worse, but it's certainly going to be below Clemson. One would think.
I thought you were guaranteeing that we were going to be second.
No.
Woo, all right.
No. But if that offense goes out, and let's just say it's only second to Clemson in the ACC, with this schedule, they're going to win 8 games doing that. They would. And probably more. And he would deserve a ton of credit. He would deserve the same sort of praise that coaches at other stops get for taking a step back, removing ego, making necessary changes despite temporary embarrassment of said changes. Because to be sure, it's embarrassing 1 year after you get here, lauded as having lethal simplicity in the Gulf Coast offense, to have to relinquish that, turn it over to somebody else, admit that it's hands off, and take a role, at least as it pertains to the offense, in the background. That's embarrassing. It's certainly not a good result, but it's a necessary one, and you get credit for being able to remove your ego and accept it. It's awfully hard to do. We all have egos. We all would like to believe that our acumen is such that we can get the job done that we were tasked with doing. And if it doesn't happen, it's hard to take a step back and accept responsibility to the extent that you are publicly embarrassed. Very few people do that. So you're damn right you get credit for that. I mean, it's hard to do. I I'd laud him. And there's so much nuance in this conversation because here's the deal. It doesn't mean he couldn't have gone on to be a great offensive coordinator. It doesn't mean he doesn't know offense. It just means that there was so many other things to take care of that he needed to really position himself to be able to do that, or else the whole kit and caboodle's gone.
Well, if you're able to run the football, then his offense is what it is. But, the problem is we couldn't block, and so that's where it all comes back to.
Well, said that every week of the season. It was a broken record. If you can't block, you can't win. And, that's where we were at. Sometimes the game is that simple.
Things got obviously heated during the regular season when we're talking about who's to blame and how much percentage is on the coach versus what options we do have. So I understand that in that conversation, I'm a little bit more aggressive in terms of criticizing the coaches than most. But at the same time, I'm bowing up early on this one. Like, you can't – I don't want to hear anything about, that's what happens when you have real coaches here, if we succeed on offense.
No, the real coach went out and made the decision to make a change after witnessing failure. Yes, that's what good leaders do. Mm-hmm. It's what great leadership is.
Better not be hearing any of that crap.
Well, but you will. You always will. I mean, this falls in the category, Tom, of – and we're getting way too – let's first go out and be good and then worry about those complaints. It falls in the category a year after Jameis left. See? Look at that without Jameis. We were like, oh, really? We're going to do that? You're on an unprecedented 29-game win streak. You lose one in the playoffs in ugly fashion.
29 were drafted to the NFL, not one in a 3-year span.
Yeah, and we would laugh off those criticisms and say, well, slow your roll there, Slick. He's responsible for an awful lot of those people going on to the NFL, having the success they did here, and certainly evaluating and recruiting them. Now, admittedly, with each passing year, I thought you could welcome in more of that criticism because we were continually going to be a 3 or more lost team. And as that happened, I said, okay.
Well, we weren't sending 29 to the NFL draft in a 3-year span. They weren't getting their names called.
No.
So the talent was not coming in.
No. Well, and a lot of other things arose. There were elements of who he was and things he was and was not doing that took time to fully play out. And then you could reevaluate. I'm really interested to see, does Willie Taggart end up having the same sort of transformation in terms of the way people perceive him and the way that his tenure here is talked about as Dabo Swinney did at Clemson. That's the fairy tale ending, that it's the same type thing, that arc is exactly the same. Woo, off to a shaky start. Didn't expect that. You're on shaky ground. Let's see what happens next. Oh, still on shaky ground. Cusp of being fired. This isn't going to work out to, oh, my God, we're a juggernaut. I'd love for that to play out. That would also mean, unfortunately, another bad year coming up. But I don't think that has to happen. I think you could have an average year because you got a pretty easy schedule. That's what I think. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with us. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
April tax day. And our hottest models, the all-new 2019 Altima and the 2019 Rogue, starting at just $21,900. And the all-new Nissan Kick starts at only $18,800 with available 1.9 interest for 60 months. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much. Way too much. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Prices include dealer preparation charge, interest rates with approved credit.
Hey, sports fans, who's on your Mount Rushmore of baseball? I'm going with Ruth, Cobb, Aaron, and Mantle. Football, I've got Bradshaw, Peyton, Montana, and Brady. In basketball, Jabbar, Jordan, Bird, and LeBron. This debate could go on and on, but when it comes to the Mount Rushmore of personal injury law in Tallahassee, the choice is clear. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Recently voted Tallahassee's best law firm, so avoid the underdog and go with the favorite. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for our all-new Ultimate Cheesy Garlic Bread. How would you like it?
I'll take the Ultimate Bromance.
Extra broy?
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, this ultimate spicy Italian made with ultimate cheesy garlic bread?
I know, bro.
So much melted mozzarella.
And this garlic butter spread, I can't take it, bro.
You know what this calls for.
Bro hug?
It's like we share the same brain, bro.
Bring it in.
Subway, make it what you want. Limited time only at participating restaurants.
Hi, this is Gene Deckeroff for Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. 2019 is here, and we've got to get rid of all the remaining 2018s. And the only way to do that is to offer employee pricing on over 50 Jeep Wranglers in stock. We've never been able to offer such unbelievable prices on Jeep Wranglers, and with over 50 in stock, they all must go. Buy one for as low as $29,900 or save up to $5,600 on in-stock vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
O'Reilly. Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All Canister Wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up Armor All Canister Wipes for $3.99. Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All Canister Wipes on sale for $3.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. After publicly saying for years he wanted to win in New Orleans and about face from Anthony Davis. His agent, Rich Paul, told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski he's informed the Pelicans that the All-NBA forward won't sign an extension and has requested a trade, wants to go to a team that has a chance to win a championship. Magic Johnson and the Lakers certainly among those interested before the February 7th trade deadline, but New Orleans holds all the cards, cautions ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
I don't think it's up to Magic. I think it's up to the Pelicans, and whether the Pelicans want to do business with the Lakers now or whether they want to bring the Celtics into the mix over the summer. Even if it's not to trade them to the Celtics, just getting the Celtics into the bidding would affect what they need to do.
Celtics can't trade for Davis until July 1st because the designated rookie exception, which does not allow Kyrie Irving and Davis's contracts on the roster together. Irving becomes a free agent July 1st. Carmelo Anthony has one thing in mind when it comes to his next move. Anthony told MSG Network at this point he just wants to be happy. The 10-time All-Star, currently a member of the Bulls, will likely be a free agent soon. Warriors tonight look to run their winning streak to 11 straight when they take on the Pacers. An estimated $6 billion will be wagered by Americans on Super Bowl 53, according to survey results released by the American Gaming Association. The Patriots-Rams matchup will be the first NFL title game since sports betting became legal in several states outside of Nevada. College basketball tonight, Zion Williamson leads number 2 Duke against Notre Dame. 7 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Blue Devils have won 12 of their last 13. Soccer, PSG and Brazil superstar Neymar may need season-ending surgery on his injured right foot. He injured that same foot last year.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. Hope you're doing all right. Good weekend, yeah? Woo! We got some freezing cold weather coming, Tom. Did you know that? 20s tomorrow.
That's right. You mentioned this. Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, you were hoping that the snow was coming.
I keep wavering on this. 23, 28, 32, 25. I don't know.
Hut.
Blue 62. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Sometimes it happens. And when that does, you go get caught up at your leisure and say, thank goodness the fine folks at 97.9 ESPN Radio have got me and my best interest in mind. They posted right there on their website, ESPNTallahassee.com, and again on iTunes. I really can't miss it. And if I'm still yearning and looking for more ways, I go to the WTSM app, which is free for my mobile devices. I could always watch it. I could go back and watch it on YouTube. Type in Jeff Cameron Show, ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube, or you could Periscope it. People are Periscope. You can't go back. Can you go back and watch a Periscope?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
It's actually quite easy when you're using the mobile apps or like your phone or your iPad, because you can just hold the picture of when we're talking, and then you can swipe left or right to move the DVR
like
function.
Like a DVR function. I see what you're doing there. You know, if you wanted to Periscope the show, you could on 97.9 ESPN Radio, the Twitter feed there. And the only thing is you can't see questions. Like I can't go back and see questions. I wasn't watching in real time. You know, that's something that I've been told I should do more of on these feeds, that the people are on there asking questions and I never answer them.
Well, you could pull up the YouTube feed over there if you want to.
It feels like that'd be vain. Watch myself as I'm performing the show on my computer.
Well, you're not watching yourself. You're watching the comments.
Yeah, I know, but it would be distracting.
Okay, and we won't interact with them.
I'd say, look at those two fine-looking gentlemen doing this radio show. They should be on television. Oh, what's your question, Steve? That's how that would go.
In a way, we are.
All right, so Florida State won last night on the road against Miami, and I don't really know why I was somewhat nervous about the game. Miami's extremely thin. They've been gutted in terms of scholarship players, and they're not any good. Their best player is a little person. And so they have real issues, and I thought, okay, we're going to be in good shape. You should be proud of me, Tom.
I am so proud of you, but I didn't. You were on a roll there, so I didn't want to cut into it.
I just thought you should be proud of me, and I wanted confirmation that you heard it. But anyhow, so here's the deal. I shouldn't have been nervous, but you know we are so injury riddled that I thought going down to Coral Gables on a Sunday evening could be problematic, but then it wasn't, because we said you can go to hell, Miami. Here comes bomb after bomb after bomb. Woo! Wasn't that something to behold? Man, I love Trent Forrest. He wasn't the one hitting the bombs, folks, but let me start with him. He has the heart of a lion. He is really hurting, and you can see it. He's not the player he was last year, and most importantly, he's not the player he was going to become this year if not for this injury. You know, when last season finished up, I came to this realization that, man, for once, I really can look at that tournament and that tournament run as not being completely arbitrary. And a lot of times it is, unless you're the Blue Bloods, where you're going to be bringing back McDonald's All-Americans and top 5 draft picks. You can rightfully expect, if you're a Duke fan or a Kentucky or Kansas fan, you know what I mean, that, hey, on a given year, we're probably going to be good. We're probably going to make the Sweet 16. We're likely going to be in contention to win our conference title, right? Because you're bringing in the best players, and you have elite coaching and resources and facilities, and so there's a reason to expect that. But the rest of college basketball, certainly here at Florida State, cannot expect that from one year to the next, any given run of success in a tournament will carry over or portend of equal success the next year, right? You can't, because you don't recruit at that same level. We certainly don't recruit at that same level. And so the season ended last year, and what a run it was. We nearly made the Final Four, and we were all very satisfied. And I thought, man, you know what's exciting? Trent Forrest is just now emerging as this stud, as this upper crust player in the best conference in America. And he's coming back. He's only going to be stronger, more confident, likely to develop a little bit more consistency with his mid-range jump shot. And I thought, okay, now if that's the catalyst for everything else that goes on, And we're bringing back a Kabengele who shows real signs that he could be a very good player in this league. I didn't think he would jump to this extent. But yeah, we saw signs that he could be really good. And you were going to get Terrence Mann back with all that experience and the kind of stuff he does for a team, the quintessential stat stuffer. It gives you second chance opportunities. Savoy emerged as a shooter at the very least off the bench last year, and you thought certainly he would carry that over, maybe even be even better this coming year. And then we found out the good news about Phil Kofer getting another year of eligibility, and we celebrated that. We thought, my God, there's a guy that's dynamic defensively. He can fill it up offensively when he's right for the day. He can guard all 5 positions.
Yeah, you can count on him for a three-pointer this year because we saw last year wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just non-conference season.
Yeah.
He had big shots for us.
Basically, the bottom line was we had the one disappointment in Obiagu deciding to ride out, which was disappointing, but he wasn't an offensive weapon. He was a defensive juggernaut. So it hurt you on one end of the floor, but you had enough length and enough experience that you should be all right there. And then, obviously, we lost
Angola
Rodas. Yeah. Rodas. We finished each other's sentences. So, anyhow, Brian Angola left, and so we thought that hurts. That'll hurt you a little bit. But every team loses somebody. So anyhow, we had enough coming back, and MJ Walker, and you still all these things. So I really believed coming into this season and said it before the season started. This is a top 25 team. They're going to have a great season. It might be reasonable to suspect that we're going to cruise into the NCAA tournament, March Madness. Could finish with 11 to 12 wins in the conference. And then conference play started. And unfortunately, really one by one, the games went by, or I should say the season started, really. You can go all the way back to early injuries and all of the problems that we've had on and off with various players. But you had the injury suffered by Terrence Mann. You had the injury reveal itself that Trent Forrest wasn't going to be right, and he hasn't been right. Phil Kofer is a guy that we thought was getting back sooner than we expected and got his sea legs about him, but then the injury reoccurred, and now you don't know what you're going to get out of him any given week if he's even going to play, right? MJ Walker had the flu and then an ankle and all this other stuff, and so it's been one thing after the other, and it's been very frustrating, and so I've had to, I guess, change my projection in my mind, certainly reconsider, recalibrate what I think is possible for this team. And so now I'm invested on, can you get to the tournament? Can we keep this thing rolling? We've gone back-to-back choo-choos. Can we make it 3 years in a row? We got a great class coming in. Could be an incredible class coming in. They're able to stamp it home with the kid out of Georgia, right? The Edwards kid. So all of this, it just means that every game I'm really invested in because they're going to have to show a lot of heart. They're going to have to play through injury. They're going to have to play at 60%, 70% capacity. We're going to have other guys emerge. And Trent Forrest seems to represent that best to me because here's a guy that, again, despite all the things I just said, played 32 minutes last night, and he only turned it over twice. Miami was clearly attempting to get in our backcourt, to get into the faces of anybody bringing the ball up the floor, anybody playing that role, if you will. Nichols couldn't handle it. You saw that last night. He got pushed around a little bit. He didn't have that what for to him, that trunk to him. Forrest can handle it easily, even with the injury, right? He just shoulders through it. Nichols is out there pushing, getting fouls called on him, being frustrated, right? He got shut down because of it.
Yeah, the one offensive foul is okay. I mean, you're really going to let him come in your kitchen like that? That's ridiculous. But, yes, he didn't respond to it well.
No, he pushed him.
Side note, I like him for Saturday because he's usually this up and down, up and down, up and down.
I like him too,
so he's going to play
not,
well on Saturday.
Well, what I will say is this, and I think he will too, but I would tell you that he's not consistent enough yet to be able to confidently hand over the reins to run the offense and to play well on defense and to handle pressure the way that Forrest, even injured, can. And so I wanted to give kudos to Trent Forrest, again, emerging there. And I love watching him. Then, obviously, MJ Walker's the star of the game last night. He had been shooting so poorly that I felt the need to call him out. A little tough love Cameron was indeed on display this past week, both on this show and on Seminole Headlines. I ripped him. Well, you're going to get ripped when you're shooting 18%. He was shooting abysmally from the field, and he's too good from that. In ACC play, literally shooting 18% from beyond the arc. My man, that's worse than a slump. That's a problem. You've fallen into a chasm here. You have to come out. Well, he emerged obviously big time last night, 6 of 7 from 3. Florida State as a team made 12 3-pointers last night, shot 60% from beyond the arc. And really, if you want to go now and get excited, maybe just a little bit of enthusiasm now that you've won 2 straight in conference and moved to 3 and 4 in the ACC, with a chance after a prolonged rest to get another win against Georgia Tech and move to 4 and 4 and get back to 500. It would also put you at 16 and 5 or 17 and 5, I think it is. You'd be in a nice position all of a sudden again. You'd be on firm footing. Okay, Florida State in their last 2 games, knocking down 52% from beyond the arc. You got a little bit of confidence. I bring it all the way back to confidence, right? Got a little bit of confidence against Clemson, and then now on the road where you struggle to win games, you go down there. I know Miami is not replete with depth and talent and size like they've been at times in the past, but I don't care. Seeing the ball go through the hoop on the road to the extent we did last night is bound to carry over, at least in terms of having confidence stepping onto the floor. They're 22 of 42 from beyond the arc in their last 2 games from 3. That's 52%. I know Hamilton's been telling everybody who would listen for a while, we're actually a really good shooting team. I don't know how to answer these questions as to why we're not shooting. I can't tell you why P.J. Savoy can't shoot. I can't tell you why M.J. Walker can't shoot. I can't tell you why we can't make threes or why we can't make shots. But because I see it every day in practice, we do hit them. We hit them all the time. But it's just not translating in the games. Well, it has translated in the games, each of the last 2. And maybe that's the catalyst now that we see a more consistent shooting team.
You get the win on Saturday would put you at 16 and 5. We're currently at 15 and 5. The question is, okay, it's kind of a tale of 2 teams on Saturday. It's a noon tip right here at TLC against Georgia Tech, and that's a good defensive team against a team that's feeling pretty good about itself on offense. Georgia Tech can rise up and play with some of the big boys in the conference. They're a typical middling ACC team where they could shock you with a box score here and there. And then for the most part, they're going to be one of those teams that they play NC State and Florida State and Pitt and BC, and they're all these 68-62 type games. But they could play good defense. And so how do we handle it against a group that can challenge us a little bit more defensively? Last night, the way you saw it, it's how it happened. First 14 points, it's all P.J. Savoy and Chris
MJ
Kamaje.
Oh, Kamaje early, yeah.
Kamaje hits his first 4 from the field.
Yes, he does, yeah.
P.J. hits his first 3 from way downtown, hits another one. We actually had a basket turned away too early on. It was a ridiculous offensive foul call on Trent Forrest. I don't know what the hell they were looking at, but that was a made basket too. Everything was going in, but you feel like you're just stealing baskets at this point. If you're trying to get to 70 or 75, right? And you get 14 free points from Kamaje and Savoy, you like your chances in this game. And that's before MJ Walker goes nuts. So early on, everything looked to be going our way because you have non-traditional contributors contributing. And also, it looked like the game plan that they had for us, which was really well put together, was not even close to the same game plan for Miami last night in terms of playing zone defense and also slowing the tempo down.
Yeah.
They let us get up and down the court, and they wanted to run with us for a little bit. I don't know what the hell that was about.
That's all predicated on them taking a lot of stupid shots and then us running in transition off of rebounds. I mean, they're coming down, hoisting ridiculous
That's
3
what I'm
after
saying.
3. Their best player was an embarrassment last night. Actually, my man, I feel like, unfortunately for Miami, they don't have a lot of options other than to hope to hit a bunch of threes. I think that's where they're at. I thought their best player last night was Lawrence. I'm biased. I balled with his dad. But yeah, I mean, they
missed 32 shots from the field last night. Likes missed 12 of those by himself.
He was hideous, and he continued to shoot. He's not lacking confidence, despite not making baskets.
Yeah, his only point was just before the half.
It was a free throw,
which was that it was the call at half court.
It was also a kind of ridiculous. There were a couple of scenarios there where Polite's in and throws up a god-awful three.
Yeah, just before the half. Kofor comes up and gives him a high five. I was like, really? Okay, well.
I mean, that ball wasn't remotely close.
That is the epitome
of girls softball.
Well, no, of being, yes.
That's okay.
Well,
that's all right.
I was just going to say being a patient teammate and a supportive teammate.
Ridiculous.
Because there's no reason to walk over and say, hey, man, no problem.
Listen, well, that's just the sensitive nature of things these days. You don't have to do that.
That was one of those shots that doesn't go, boo. It goes, boo.
You don't
it just keeps going.
You don't have to make fun of the person. That's probably going too far. But, man, you don't have to give them dap. You just kind of look over like, whoo. Woo.
You don't have to be Noonie Murray, but you don't have to be,
yeah.
The nicest guy in the world either.
It was weird. I cracked up. I'm like, man, I'm not giving you love for that one. I might slap you on the ass as we come off the floor and tease you a little bit to kind of loosen you up. Like, you were energized for that one, were you? Feeling it.
If you want more minutes, we need those to be closer.
Got to touch the rim. You got to be somewhere in the vicinity. It's got to hit the backboard.
It's
Anything.
about the only thing that happened. It didn't go our way that half, though.
Well, okay, so let me say this, and I think this is important too because I'm guilty of it as much as anybody. The next time that you see a game and you think, how come we can't do that, right? How come we never make people struggle or pay for their strategy choices? Well, we do, and it was on display last night. If you are hell-bent on keeping us from getting to the basket, if you were going to try with your damnedest to make sure nothing happens at the rim, we have to make you pay from three. And if you're not going to adjust, then we're going to have to continue to make you pay from three. And last night, Florida State took one team strategy and made them pay dearly, repeatedly, for prolonged periods of time for doing so. And I know a lot of times it just seems effortless for other teams, and we go, we never dominate anybody and run away with a game and have a game that's free from fraught and rot and frustration and disappointment. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Right there.
That was easy breezy. And the fun thing about this is as Kabengele lets go of a jump shot.
The three?
Any jump shot. Now.
Well, but that three was awesome.
There is a reason from straight away, yes, but there is a reasonable expectation that it's going to be good. And you don't typically see that from a big, and you could apply that to anything in all sports. A 5-footer for Phil Mickelson on a Sunday in a major.
Right.
As it's leaving the putter face. Is that going in? No, it's lipping out. It always lips out because that's what happens. That's what Phil Mickelson does.
Or a tee shot from Phil hitting the fairway. It's not going to hit the fairway. It's just simply not going to hit the fairway.
If Kumaje is fed the ball in the post and he's a reasonable distance away from the basket, he's going to dribble the basketball and he's going to turn over the basketball because he's going to put it on the floor and it's going to drive you nuts. But on the good side of that is when Kabengele faces up and takes a jump shot, you kind of expect it to go in.
I said to my youngest son last night, who's now taking a key interest in basketball, on one of those shots, as soon as he caught it, I went, buckets, and then he slapped me 5 on his way to brush teeth. That's how we roll in the Cameron household. I knew it was going in, and he did too. And it was funny, to your point, Clark said, Kabengele, and I went, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah. He's seen enough now to know. That's our dog right there. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
With a Bloomberg Business of Sports report, I'm Michael Barr. Nike will be the next jersey supplier for Major League Baseball. It was a licensing deal that was originally awarded to rival Under Armour in 2016. Under the 10-year agreement, which starts in 2020, Nike will design the apparel that players wear on the field, including jerseys, base layers, and warm-ups. Sports merchandise supplier Fanatics will manufacture and distribute all of Nike's MLB products sold at retail. MLB in December of 2016 announced a 10-year deal with Under Armour and Fanatics, making Under Armour the official on-field supplier starting in 2020, but Under Armour later backed out of the deal. The $1 billion NFL concussion settlement, already hobbled by a wave of litigation over brain injury payouts, got more complicated as lawyers for retired players and third-party lenders sparred over the limits of a district court's authority to control the class settlement. And that is a Bloomberg Business of Sports report. I'm Michael Barr.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Man Cave Monday, brought to you by Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Right on the corner and always right on the price. Check out the latest 2019 inventory at TallahasseeDCJ.com today.
Finally, Super Bowl week. You ratcheted up your intrigue or attention for that? You care? Or has apathy set in now that the Patriots are in it again? I'll watch every Super Bowl. It's the freaking Super Bowl, and it's also partly our job. And I do find it fascinating to see, can somebody find a way to penetrate the Great Wall there that we've witnessed from New England in this postseason. You know, to have that many dropbacks and to have a quarterback not get touched, it doesn't matter whether you think Tom is currently playing at the highest level a quarterback's ever played or not. He doesn't have to be. If you're an above-average quarterback and you got a run game like New England's got and they can't get to you and you got time to set up on your spot, step into throws, I dare say, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the great Tom Brady, that almost any quarterback worth a damn in the league is going to make those throws, and he's had eons. The whole question to me is, do the Rams and Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh, Dante Fowler, can they get some pressure on him?
Yeah, here's your legacy game in Ndamukong Suh, right?
This is it, right? Because I don't want to say you've underachieved, but you go through stretches where you don't realize that Ndamukong Suh's on the field, and he, for being a physical menace the way he was for a good part of the early portion of his career in Detroit, he kind of ended up getting the reputation as a guy that could be solved, that could be neutralized.
Well, he's got a motor issue. At some point, I think he just decided, maybe it was all the losing. I don't know. Maybe it's just he's tired of losing, and when things go wrong, he does something stupid, and in this day and age, it goes viral. He might just be annoyed with the whole process, but he won't be annoyed on Sunday. To answer your question, for me personally, it's not apathy, but I'm not excited. It's Monday. It's a long week, man. But when it kicks off, yeah, I mean, I'll be intrigued. I expect the Patriots to win, but you could see a scenario, at least I can envision one, in which it just looks like the Rams are the better team. And they are the better team and they carry the day. Not because Jared Goff does anything crazy, just because they're better in the trenches. We'll see, though.
I hope you're right. I don't see any scenario. I think the Patriots are going to beat their ass.
Really?
I really do. I just don't see this being much of a game. And I've tried to, maybe midweek. I don't have to place my bet. Big Daddy doesn't have to place a bet until we get later in the week. But if you can get 2.5 out there before this goes to 3, and many of the books are moving it to 3 now because they couldn't get any Rams action. And I'm not surprised. I looked it up this morning. I told myself this week would be the week I start trying to find a reason to root for. Oh, I can find many reasons to root for the Rams, but I'm going to find a reason that maybe I could believe they can win. So I started going book to book and looking at different sites that I look at that I don't want to bore you guys with because they're pretty much gambling sites, but they can't get any money on the Rams. Nobody's putting money on the Rams. So a lot of these books are like, well, do we dare push it to 3.5? Because they don't want to end up sideways at 3, which is what's going to happen.
What if the public is wrong? I mean, it's happened before. I got to imagine there wasn't a ton of money on the Eagles last year.
No, the public is often wrong. I mean, in fact, if the public is going one way, I often run the other. But one thing we did learn about favorites the last 2 years, and I'll see what the season totals are after the Super Bowl. I think it died down some. But the last 2 years, they couldn't put certain numbers high enough. I mean, it used to be, and sharps look at this all the time, if the number is 10 or more in an NFL game, but on principle alone, you take the team getting the 10. But anymore, you can't do that because there was a stretch where favorites covered double-digit spreads at like 78%. Remember they couldn't make the number big enough for a year for the Patriots in 1 year?
No, I feel like this has probably been a decent year for the favorite overall and for the public.
I think so too. But I'm saying, so you can't just assume that because Joe Public is all in on New England that, okay, they're probably wrong and Vegas is going to get rich again and build more tall buildings. I think they're probably going to be right. I think they are. I was surprised the original was 2.5. Really? You guys feel that good about the Rams and Jared Goff and an injured Todd Gurley?
Well, that would be one of the huge keys to the game. It's the pass rush on Brady, and it's how healthy is Todd Gurley. And because he can be a factor catching the ball out of the backfield and be just as big of a factor doing that.
When he's healthy, he's the best back in the NFL. I don't disagree with you. He is an electrifying game changer, but he hasn't been healthy in 4 weeks. He was freaking on a bike on the sidelines. Go tell it to Moses McRae.
Right. My question would be the track, indoors, does that favor L.A., right? I mean, if it was outdoors and there was weather, you'd pick the Patriots and you'd probably move that thing to, 5 or 6?
Yeah, you would because Goff looks like a ghost out there. I mean, you saw him this year against the Bears. It got mildly inclement. He looked like he was seeing flying saucers. He was afraid to be out there. Oh, my God, it's under 50 degrees. Yeah, he's a California kid, so you're right.
I just wonder, I mean, everybody was loving on McVay, and certainly with coaching hires, they still do. But McVay is the toast of the league for being a brainiac. And does he have nothing for Belichick? Really? He's got nothing for him? I mean, that could be true, but I feel like nobody's talking about him. Everybody just says the old standby, Belichick and Brady. But, I get they get here all the time, but they didn't win it last year.
No,
they're not invincible.
No, they're definitely not invincible. They don't win it every year. In fact, I mean, it took a miracle for them to win the game against Seattle. It took a miracle for them to win the game against Atlanta. But, of course, they did on both occasions. And I think we felt better about that Seattle team and certainly about that Atlanta team than we do this Rams team. And Philadelphia, you're right, that was interesting. And they had no answers for Philadelphia's offense. And the Nick Foles story was incredible. But, of course, Brady threw for like 500 and something yards and was nearly perfect in the second half. You're right. Can they get to him? Because if they don't, they're going to get picked apart. And I don't think Goff is in a position to go back and forth here and try to make this 38-35 type thing. I think they have to control the game. I think you got to find a way to run the ball, preferably with Gurley, because Anderson's not explosive. He's a bowling ball. It's a neat story. He'll pound the ball, but you need explosive plays, and Gurley gave them that for 13 weeks. And then he's not. Now he's just been a shell of himself. It appears to me, even though he told everybody after the last game that he was fine, I just wasn't playing well. Who's buying that? You go from the best player in the league, I mean, you can't be stopped for 13 weeks, and now I'm just not playing well? Well, man, you're hurt.
No, well, if that was true, then it's on McVay because they're getting worried about protections or something along those lines, and he wants to send a message. I don't believe that for a second either, though.
No.
Now, you do get the extra week, and
Right. Yeah, and can you shoot him up enough for one? Hey, this is the glory, man. This is why you play the game. This is it. And, I heard something interesting. Michael Lombardi, former executive with the Patriots and Cleveland and others, the Raiders, He said something last week that I did not realize, that Gurley coming out of college, the scout on him was that, unfortunately, he had a degenerative knee problem. And that what you were going to get out of him was elite for about 4 or 5 years, and then that thing goes bone on bone, and he's likely never going to be the same. So there were raised eyebrows when the Rams gave him the second contract and they went all in on it because obviously he was productive. He was unbelievable, and he's been great since he came into the league. But the thought was, yeah, you've got him on the front end for 4 or 5 where he's going to be fantastic. By the way, that's the same scout. Do you know this? Same scout for Sony Michel. They feel like brutalized his time at Georgia, incredible player, explosive, got about a 5-year window before he gets revealed to as not being able to physically handle the load.
Well, that's got to speak more to his medical independent of his use, though, because I know they played him a lot, but they shared it with Chubb.
Yeah, they shared it with Chubb, right? Chubb was the guy that was most suited for the long-term success because of thickness and all of that.
Listen, if it works, if running Sony works, Bill won't be afraid to run him 30 times on Sunday.
Bill will run you into the ground to win a ring and say thanks for your efforts and have a great life. I mean, and that's I got no problem with that. I mean, they ran Stork out there, and then after about the 15th concussion, they're like, I guess you can't play anymore. Thanks for everything, buddy. Boom. Bring in the next guy. But that's the nature of the beast. I got no problem with that. Running backs, that's the way it is. I'd never sign in a running back to a second deal. You know that when we were talking about our Devontae Freeman.
In 2 or 3 years with Saquon Barkley, I'd be interested to see if
I might change my opinion.
Just for Saquon.
He appears to be a little bit different. I think you're right on that one. I shouldn't say never. That's the lesson there. I shouldn't say never. Once in a blue moon, a guy comes along and you go, that's different. He's built different, and may have to give him some money here, but you know, again, you're talking about a rare exception.
It is pass rush based. Everything is pass rush based for the Rams. I'm just playing it out in my head. You can see the field. Atlanta hosts every game these days. I feel like not just Super Bowls, like every championship game, every neutrals. Like we go there all the time.
We are always there, yeah.
But you can kind of see it playing out, and if you can get the disruption, the whole key here, I think that nobody's really given the Rams credit for is their 2 primary guys. They're interior rushers. And that affects a guy who can't move all that well left to right. Now, the thing that the Patriots do well, and you've got to figure out a way, if you're the Rams, you can't let him get the ball out of his hands within a second.
He does all the
2
time.
seconds.
Well, you know, one of the reasons that the Patriots have been able to protect him besides the best offensive line in the league is the fact that they go 2-back. They go 2-back all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't see many teams do that anymore.
Right, because they know Edelman's going to get open. So
right. Yeah.
What do we care if we release 2 or 3 into a route?
It's a whole bunch of 2-back, man, and teams aren't accustomed to seeing that. And it's very physical for one. And then number 2, it obviously you got more opportunity to get that block and to hold on to the ball a little bit longer and let a play develop.
Will Brady hit a downfield shot or 2 for more than 30 yards? Like air yards?
Yeah, because I don't believe in the Rams secondary, so sure. Yeah. Now,
you got to hit it. You got to make the throw.
I think he can. He just never has to. I mean, we're faulting him for not doing it because he just never has to. Pisses me off. But then there'll be a moment in a game where he makes that wide side throw off balance, and how do you get that there? That's still in the artillery?
He's got a couple of them.
He's got a few in every game. You're like, really?
I think you might have to this game, though.
I hope so. Jeff Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104. Once again, contact Corey Melton at 850-521-3104.
Hey, Seminole fans, the weather's still chilly, but the prices are hot, hot, hot during the winter clearance event happening now at Garnet & Gold. For a limited time only, take an unbelievable 40% off regular priced Florida State outerwear, including jackets, sweats, and long sleeve tees. And take an additional 30% off all clearance items. Save big time during the winter clearance event on now at all 3 Garnet & Gold locations, West Pensacola Street, Killarn, and our flagship store on Governor Square Boulevard. If you're a Seminole, we're your store. Shop local and go Noles.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This Day in Sports History.
January 28th, 1960. The NFL awarded football teams to 2 cities. The first, the Minnesota Vikings, who would not begin playing until the 1961 season. The second, the Dallas Cowboys. Owners Clint Murchison Jr. and Bedford Wynn gave the NFL their southernmost franchise and would plant the roots for the organization that would become America's team.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Just like football, when it comes to the court of law, you're going to need a solid defense. I'm Michael D. Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez in Tallahassee. At the Law Office of Jose Fernandez, there is never an upfront fee, and if we don't recover, then you don't pay anything. Our team is dedicated to handling all types of accident, injury, negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death cases. If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. JRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. After publicly saying for years he wanted to win in New Orleans, and about face from Anthony Davis. His agent, Rich Paul, told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski he's informed the Pelicans that the All-NBA forward won't sign an extension and has requested a trade, wants to go to a team that has a chance to win a championship. Magic Johnson and the Lakers certainly among those interested before the February 7th trade deadline, but New Orleans holds all the cards, cautions ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
I don't think it's up to Magic. I think it's up to the Pelicans, and whether the Pelicans want to do business with the Lakers now or whether they want to bring the Celtics into the mix over the summer. Even if it's not to trade them to the Celtics, just getting the Celtics into the bidding would affect what they need to do.
Celtics can't trade for Davis until July 1st because the designated rookie exception, which does not allow Kyrie Irving and Davis's contracts on the roster together, Irving becomes a free agent July 1st. Carmelo Anthony has one thing in mind when it comes to his next move. Anthony told MSG Network at this point he just wants to be happy. The 10-time All-Star, currently a member of the Bulls, will likely be a free agent soon. Warriors tonight look to run their winning streak to 11 straight when they take on the Pacers. An estimated $6 billion will be wagered by Americans on Super Bowl 53, according to survey results released by the American Gaming Association. The Patriots-Rams matchup will be the first NFL title game since sports betting became legal in several states outside of Nevada. College basketball tonight, Zion Williamson leads number 2 Duke against Notre Dame. 7 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app. Blue Devils have won 12 of their last 13. Soccer, PSG and Brazil superstar Neymar may need season-ending surgery on his injured right foot. He injured that same foot last year.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. We got nothing for you tonight. Normally I tell you, coming up next, a little college basketball, a little NBA. Something. Rory Sharrock. Rattler Review. Front Row Knowles. Something. Nada. You get good old ESPN programming. Is that Spain and Fitz? Are we rocking the Spain and Fitz tonight? A little Spain and Fitz to take me home this evening?
I think you know the answer to that.
Rocking the Spain and Fitz? I'll be listening to music. I'll be tuning in to some music. I've been on a run lately, Tom Lang. I go in spurts. I get this run where I'll start exploring a certain genre, or I'll catch up on stuff that I've missed, and I'll say, all right, well, tonight we're going to explore whatever it might be, whatever the newest album is that I've downloaded, right? Something that I've decided that I needed to catch up on or learn more about. A lot of times it's that. A lot of times it's like, people have told me about this record for years. For example, The Firstborn is Dead by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Great record. Never really listened to it all that much. Maybe I'll go all in on that. See what I'm saying? That's what you do.
I see what you're saying.
You're like, okay, yeah, enough making fun of this evening's programming. That's not what it is.
They picked up tomorrow night, Westwood One did, NC State and Virginia. So that's good at least.
I've been watching a ton of basketball, and so actually, all jokes aside, I think that's where I'll go tonight. I'll go home and watch college basketball. I've been doing a lot of that. And you know what? It's weird about it. I'll say this. I am all at once hopeful, as we discussed today, about Florida State's chances of making the tournament and maybe making a splash, and at the same time, negative about the chances of that actually coming to pass because of the health concerns. But you can't help but be buoyed by the performance yesterday. And, if any of that stuff that I want to have happen and that we've been championing throughout the course of the year, despite growing evidence that Trent Forrest is just not going to be able to get healthy and Terrence Mann's not going to be able to get healthy and Phil Kofor is going to be very limited in the role that he can play, it's that MJ Walker or people like MJ Walker, in particularly, frankly, MJ Walker, have to become the 5-star that they were projected to be. They got to step into the role of superstardom. Kabengele has to continue to grow as your best player, and he is a beast. But those are the guys that are going to have to carry the day. And so what happened last night was that, right? And you got that. And, man, MJ can make it look so effortless when he's confident. We were talking about this. It's funny. I should have brought it up earlier. Confidence is the word that comes back all the time when I talk to coaches and former players and in any field, in any sport. It's always confidence. Assuming you have the requisite skills to make it this far, the rest is about how confident you are with your game, how much you believe that you're going to play well, when it's time to play well, when the lights come on. Man, whatever was said to MJ Walker before that game yesterday evening, if Tough Love Cameron is personally responsible for MJ Walker rising up, and I'll take credit for that. A lot of you pointed it out on Twitter last night. Good on you. Well done. Then, look, man, then so be it. But he made that first shot, and it was like, Katie, bar the door, you're screwed. He believed everything was going in from that point forward. You could see it in his body language. Seeing the ball go through the hoop a couple of times, and all of a sudden my man's like, oh, I'm good. I'm good again. I've always been good. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, you know who that reminds me of, and it's just in the offensive side, is Michael Snare would do that. With Snare, if he hit a perimeter shot or two, then everything went. Or for him, it would actually be the runner. If he'd hit his runner and it wasn't off the back iron, then you knew on a given night, oh, boy, he could be somebody who goes for 25 or 30.
You're going to have a problem with him tonight, yeah.
No, he's not going to average 25 or 30, but you knew on certain nights if he was feeling it. And if he was, then everything about every dribble he took. I mean, think about the crossover last night. The crossover bucket for MJ Walker in the first half.
It was evil, man. He posterized your boy.
That says it all. That says it all of what he's capable of doing. And I'm glad that he can sit on an effort like that for a week rather than sitting on a poor effort because, I mean, you're just going to be shown film of what you're doing that's right. And that's great. And meanwhile, I think for other guys like Forrester Mann, if you could put them through like the cryotherapy or in a hyperbaric chamber between now and the Georgia Tech game.
Right.
Okay, maybe we got something.
Well, I'll continue to remain hopeful here, and we'll continue to watch guys emerge and then hope for the relative health of the guys that make up the core of this team that we were counting on to go on another great run. I don't know how much is going to happen. By the way, I got a lot of questions about this because I talked about it openly last week, and I guess there are some newer people to the show, and they didn't realize my fascination with psychology and behaviorism and serial killers. But if you want to watch something on Netflix, Conversations with a Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes, doesn't suck.
That's right. That is programming that's fit for all ages, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I don't know about – I mean, they warn you on the Netflix series. They tell you they even tell you at the beginning, like, not to watch it alone. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, that just seems gratuitous. I watched it alone. I'm fine. I think that a 20-year-old could watch it by themselves.
I've noticed no difference in your behavior whatsoever. No nervous tics.
No, there's none of that. No. It's a bingeable series because there's only 4, and I've watched 3 now. It came out last week. I'll watch the other one maybe late tonight. But you know what? It's fascinating. It is fascinating, and you would like it. You would like it, Tom.
Even me?
You would like it.
Even me.
Yeah. Well, there's human interest stuff in all this, not just the what made him tick stuff, but it's really amazing the amount of tape that they have, and a lot of that footage. First of all, there's an angle that involves reporting, and a reporter trying to get something from a serial killer, as he's on death row in the state of Florida. His footage of that time is remarkable. By the way, I remember when he was executed, 1989. I'm a senior in high school when that happened, and I can remember, Tom, this is crazy, the news footage of him, his body being taken out. I think young Matthew has family that was involved in all this. That's amazing.
On the ground, making sure that he didn't pull any.
No, that dude was dead at that point.
Last-second shenanigans.
No more shenanigans. He pulled a lot of shenanigans along the way.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy shenanigans. There's a part that will make you laugh.
It ain't over till it's over kind of stuff.
It'll make you laugh, by the way. I mean, listen, you can't make light of the subject. He killed 30 women, probably more than that. So obviously it's serious subject matter, and I'm not trying to in any way not highlight the importance of that and the terrible heartbreak. But there are parts in it that make you laugh, just incompetence-wise. When my man just jumps out of the second floor of a courthouse, he's just like, I'm gonna leave. And that nobody was watching him. He's just sitting in the law library or the courthouse reading during a break, and he just decides, it's a nice day. Nobody's watching me. Opens up the window, jumps the hell out, and runs off into the mountains. What are we doing here? It would never happen now. It would never happen. Now, there are a lot of things that it's educational, how far forensic science has come. So he's committing murders on the West Coast. He's in the Pacific Northwest, right? And then he leaves, and he goes to Utah and Colorado, and then on his way. They would have easily connected all of this stuff with modern technology.
Sure. Yeah.
They couldn't back then. They didn't know.
It's like Home Alone,
Oh, right, yeah.
Call the
cops, dude.
How's that movie going to happen?
Call the cops. What are you doing?
He could have done that then. But
he could have done that right then and there.
With cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
You're telling me you don't know any neighbor on the block? They're all on everyone's on vacation.
Yeah, no,
sure.
You can disbelief.
You can call somebody at work. You can text somebody.
What's frustrating about this is, and it's revealed too, and I'll stop probably not in case somebody wants to actually watch it. They did know. They did have a handle that it was him. They had enough eyewitnesses to a dual kidnapping in at a park in Seattle on a beautiful summer day, and enough people said, the guy said his name was Ted.
They had it.
They had him, and they were even monitoring him, watching him.
They had it.
It's crazy. It's fascinating. You'd like it. It's not. I've tried to figure out over the years what it is that you see as a deterrent to watching these things that I find fascinating. And you're not as morbid as I am in general, so there is that. But I think
because I know myself, I'm a dweller. I dwell on things. So I don't like to be left, dwelling on too much negativity if I don't have to. Now, I do enjoy any war documentaries and films because there are a lot of pieces at play here. But when it gets to that very personal, individual level kind of crap,
sure,
I can watch it. It's not that I can't stomach it, but I just know myself. I'd just be thinking about that stuff for a while. And
I don't think you would think. This is more about how this reporter got him to open up and talk. It's a psychological ploy. He figured out he was getting nowhere with Ted because Ted didn't want to incriminate himself. And then eventually he basically says to Ted, well, if let's just say there was this killer out there, how do you think he would operate? How do you think this could have happened? And that gave him the avenue to talk in the third person. He's obviously talking about himself, but
boy, that's loose. I mean,
oh, very loose. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's twisted. He took it and ran with it. What would you say? What would you say?
Right. Yeah, it's like my friends. What if your friend did it?
Yeah.
Well, my friend would.
Well, OJ wrote a book, If I Did It. I mean, Pete, these guys want to talk about these things. It's nuts. So we give you fits in Spain. Up next, good work,
Mark
Tom.
Spitz will not be taking the microphone after this
and
break.
His records have been eclipsed. Nobody's calling him anymore. Despite the greatness, people are like, Mark, how you doing? I don't know. Nobody's called in years. That dude surpassed everything I ever did. To hear him talk in an interview, he sounds like an idiot. You should talk to me. I can put together sentences.
Ryan Lochte and Michael Phelps on Jeopardy. Who you got?
Good Saturday Night Live.
Who you got?
Phelps.
Yeah, you
by
got to take
a long
Phelps.
shot.
Right?
He wins easily. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow.